There was absolutely a seismic trade in the NFL draft yesterday. How does it affect the Jets? We will debate. Boy Green Daily starts now.
Oh my gosh, it's morphin' time! To me, talking New York Jets is my superpower. Boy Green Daily starts now. Wow! Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily.
It's often just football, man.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Offense, defense, special teamwork, Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets. Let's go!
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. By the way, it's WrestleMania weekend, and I have some insights. Mommy's always on top, baby! For those who get that, you're welcome. For those who don't, I'm so sorry. Welcome to the show, everybody. It is a Sunday, and boy, did we have a blockbuster trade in the draft last night, days before. And I believe it has a seismic impact on the New York Jets. We will debate whether that is good news, bad news, or meh news. You guys can vote on that, by the way, in the YouTube poll right now. But it is time for your weekly dose of some JWW.
This is Jets Worldwide. Wide.
Ah, yes, Snowball, Johnny Boy, Danhausen. Everybody is here in the program, which we appreciate in the audience. Make sure you guys like the video and hit subscribe as you're coming on in here. Or feel free to give Jared B., our moderator in the chat, immediately gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Snowball?
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Who'd this membership go to?
Vocal Vike.
Yeah, you told me before the show you like reading up and down, left to right, Snowball. What the hell, man?
I'm not
We
prepared.
set all this up. It was a whole thing.
I have a little
Wow.
tiny computer in front of me and it can't handle
right.
a lot of windows. So
Okay.
sorry, I apologize.
Okay. Well, Window's good. You need some sunlight in there, for God's sakes. Let's get you a tan.
Somebody else read it
there,
then, 'cause I
Snowball.
can't do this.
Okay, well, I'll read it because I have it up.
Please
So,
go.
here we go. I was
All right,
ready just in case. That's okay. That went to Vocal Vike. You are now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Very much. Thank you. Thank you. Jared B., that's another raffle ticket for the contest, my friend. So thank you, everybody. And again, we'll show the details of the raffle in a little bit. But here's the nitty-gritty. In case you missed it, and I'm breaking some news to you, Dexter Lawrence, Sexy Dexy, is on the move. He is traded to the Cincinnati Bengals, and the trade is very simple. It is Dexter Lawrence to the Bengals in exchange for the 10th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. It is pending a physical, which was going on today, I believe. I think he was private jetting over last night into this morning to take his physical, and then they plan to work out a new long-term extension, which will also be a part of that trade to make that official. But the Giants now hold the 5th overall pick and the 10th overall pick in this class, and I have put a poll up before any of us comment on it. There is a poll up right now on YouTube, and that trade that I just said, and is that good news, bad news, or meh news? It doesn't move the needle. Make sure you guys vote on that YouTube poll. Now, I would have thought, as I taint all of you here with this take, I said, oh, to me, it seemed pretty clearly bad news because, to just put it bluntly, the Giants seem a lot more likely to take a wide receiver than the Bengals do. The Bengals got Jamar Chase. They've got T. Higgins. They seem pretty set over there. The Giants have Malik Neighbors, but he's coming off a serious injury, and the rest of the room is super questionable. So I just think those chances increase. The Jets want a wide receiver. A new team entering the mix in front of you that wants a wide receiver is not good news. So I would have assumed that, but I put out a YouTube short in the middle of watching WrestleMania last night. I got a lot of comments saying, Paul, you're an idiot, which, by the way, I get called that every day, whether on comments or in person. But they said, Paul, this is clearly great news. And they explained all their different takes, which is interesting. So, folks, you guys can let us know in the comment section, super chat, all those different comments in. But let's go around the horn here We'll start off with you, Johnny boy. Is this good news, bad news, or no news? No needle moving. You're absolutely just adequate. You're like, what an adequate trade just occurred. And you have no feeling whatsoever. So, Johnny boy, what's the truth here on this Dexter Lawrence Bengals-Giants trade?
My name is Johnny Boy.
Yeah.
And if anybody understands that reference that, BG saying what I'm saying, it's WrestleMania weekend and there's a lot of stuff going on. And then this news drops.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is impactful to us because they could potentially take one of the wide receivers that we were looking at. But I don't think they're going to go wide receiver. I don't see that happening.
At either pick?
I think they're going to go straight defense. And
interesting. Okay.
Dude, I could see them leaving this draft with Sonny Styles and with Caleb Downs.
Wow.
And it's literally what a lot of us Jet fans are wanting. And I think that's going to happen over there. You're telling me that, you're going to get this all-star linebacker in Sonny Styles for Big Blue, and then you're going to get your a la Kyle Hamilton all over again for Harbaugh in Caleb Downs. When I saw
is this
that,
good news, bad news, or no news?
It's bad news for us because I thought some of these guys were going to maybe drop, and then there was going to be a potential of us to maybe come in and they'll be there around 12 potentially, right? Because I think that was a sweet spot with the conversation we had last time with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But then they hit. So I think it's bad news for the Jets. I mean, it is what it is. They got to get it right regardless.
Right.
But it's bad news. You didn't want to see that. And it's our next door neighbor.
Yeah.
F the G-man.
There you go. Yeah, screw the Giants. Well, fascinating take that we both ended up on bad news, but in different ways. That's fascinating to me because as we're about to get Snowball in here, I think the wide receiver run, I've heard some other whispers. I'm not sure I buy it. I think the wide receiver run could start at 6 with Cleveland. I've heard some whispers about Tennessee. I don't buy it. I've heard some whispers of the Giants at 5. So 5, I guess now with what just happened at 10. I believe the Giants could take a receiver at 5. The Browns could take a receiver at 6. The Commanders could take a receiver at 7. I think the Chiefs could take one at 9. So there's a lot of danger, Will Robinson, and that complicates some things. So I thought that was bad news, but double defense being bad news. Interesting. All right, let's circle over to Snowball. Great news. Are you Tony the Tiger? Great news, or terrible news, or meh news? Snowball.
I question the people who say that it's either not impactful or good news for the Jets.
Yeah.
How could it be anything but bad news for the Jets when you have, again, your roommate basically having an additional pick in front of you with needs that are very similar to what we have? You're taking away something that we need before we get there. And not even to mention that, like, getting 10 doesn't mean that they're going to stay at 10. That's another thing that can happen. So you have other teams in back of them jockeying for position, and that number 10 pick could translate as well. So you could get other teams who, again, need stuff that we need jumping in front of us. The Giants could drop back. It's possible. They could jump up too. I'm kind of like being Darren Muji here. We could move forwards. We could move backwards. But yeah, it does definitely smell like trouble in front of us. I could see the wide receiver possibility, for the Giants. Like you said, Neighbors is the guy, but they need another. They're like us, they're basically like us. So they need additional wide receiver help. So not the best situation at all. And us sitting at 16, not great.
There's a silver lining, though, that I want to share that I think gives us an advantage over the Giants. And it's this, okay? The trade that everyone and your mama has been predicting about the Jets moving up from 16 to get a wide receiver has been to 7 with Washington. This team that only has 2 picks inside the top 146 picks of this draft, they're motivated to move down. Jets could be motivated. They don't have to move up, but they could move up. There's a path. There's a realistic line to moving up. the thing I get here is the Jets aren't competing with the Giants. There's no way the Commanders trade with the Giants unless some extra tax is paid, I would assume. Because, like, we've seen a couple years ago, the Vikings-Lions struck a trade for Jameson Williams where the Lions came from all the way back in the first round and came all the way up inside the top 15 to go get their wide receiver. Now, normally, I wouldn't help out a division rival even like that because, like, that's just not something I would play with. But I think the Jets have an advantage that if the Jets and Giants offer the same package to move up to 7, I think Commanders would be much more inclined to give that trade to the Jets than they would be the Giants because of a division rival. So if that is the pivot point, because here's the risk for the Giants. Johnny Boy doesn't think this is going to happen, but here's the risk. If I'm the Giants and I now have 5-10, now you play the game like they played a couple years ago when they had 5-7 with Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal. And they're like, who can we take now that our other guy will make sure he gets there on the turn? That's the gamble they have to take. It's a harder game to play because you're going from 5-10 instead of 5-7. You only had to worry about one team in the past. To me, that could force the Judge to go, shit, we know this wide receiver run starts with us. If we don't take a wide receiver at 5, we may not get our guy. Cleveland at 6, Washington at 7, someone trades up to 7. We may be F by 10. We may have no other choice. Let's take our first wide receiver, whoever we love, at 5, and then we'll figure out whatever is the best defender at 10. That's my fear, which again would be bad news to the Jets because, like, there's nothing the Jets can do. They're not taking wide receiver at 2 unless we're all going to be shocked, and Johnny Boy will be together if that happens. So I don't think that's going to happen. So if you're not taking a 2, your next pick is 16. I don't know if any of the receivers are going to be there at 16, especially with this Giants trade up now. So I think that's the complicating factors here that take place. I do.
BG, with this move, man, Harbaugh is saying, I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And
sure.
Hey, Lou B, if you're watching, cover your ears, man, because you might not want to hear this. Dude, they might take Love, bro, at 5 pick at 5, bro.
Is he going to be there at 5?
Maybe. I think so.
All right.
Oh man, it's like that's the thing, but they have every opportunity, just like us, of course, right? But I don't know.
Can we just address this real quick? How the hell did the Giants get the 10th overall pick for Dexter Lawrence? His fat ass had a half a sack last year. He's 28. He's going to turn 29 during the season. What in the flying desperation Bengal fuck just happened here? Hey, Giants fans, if you just stumbled into this podcast because you see Dexter Lawrence and Giants in the headline, congratulations. You just bent the Bengals over the barrel and showed them the 50 states. Good Lord have mercy. I mean, I can't believe this. We just did a show last week on the MC Show Digital Network, which cross streams over here. And the Bengals came up because Lurch asked me, he said, hey, this Dexter Lawrence trade, what teams make sense? I said, it has to be the right team, a win-now team that doesn't give a shit, that's willing to give up a pick if first round is what they want. I said, the Bengals specifically, if I was the Bengals, I wouldn't give up the 10th overall pick for Dexter Lawrence. Are you freaking kidding me? Hell no. He's coming off a terrible year. He was questioned to be fat and out of shape last year. Why would I pay this primo price for Dexter Lawrence? The 10th overall pick is even more than Dexter Lawrence initially cost when he was drafted way back in the day. So that to me, congratulations, Giants. You got an absolute steal. I thought for sure, like another trade we discussed was the Buffalo Bills at 26th overall, straight up 26. And I said, maybe that's more proper range, but not 10. So I can't believe the Bengals did this. This is very un-Bengal-like, crazy, desperation, and the Giants were able to take advantage. You got to get out of jail free card because Dexter Lawrence apparently didn't want to be there anymore, and they got the 10th overall pick. That's insane value. Anywho, go ahead, Johnny Boy.
They hit him with the Eddie Guerrero, man. The I lie, I cheat, I steal. Dude, for Dexter Lawrence.
It was a stone cold stunner, man.
Dude, I was like,
yeah.
I mean, what does that say about the draft? Right, like I was reading a little bit this morning on some of the stuff that was being put out with us and Mini, and there's a lot of organizations that really feel like this actual draft is really weak, and this is why, and this is the reason for the Dexter Lawrence trade at 10 because they're like, well, he's somewhat proven, I mean, he came off of an injury last year, but you know what he's done before in the past. The Bengals. I would say that's
No,
what
who
they're
came off an
thinking.
injury, were you saying?
Dexter Lawrence the year before, wasn't he?
No, he played in all 17 games last year.
No, I know that, but he wasn't as productive, right? But
Oh, yeah, he had half a sack, of course. Yeah, the year before he had 9 sacks. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know. I mean, what does it say about this draft? That's what I'm trying to ask you, to both of you guys. What does that say about this draft? I don't know.
To me, I get that take. I get people saying the draft is weak and the Bengals are saying this. I don't think I make that kind of overarching take. I think to me, the Bengals made a very simple conversation. And to me, the simple conversation is this. We don't know this as Jet fans because we haven't been in this position in a very long time, but they have Joe Burrow. So every year is Super Bowl or bust. We are swinging for the fences. We're trying to win the Super Bowl. And a conversation they had to have had in this draft room before they made this decision on Dexter Lawrence. Who helps us more right now? Right? It's that stupid David Bailey Arvell Reese thing that people were talking about. Well, who could help us win more exactly in 2026? Don't think about any other year but this, which is not a decision you should be making with the first round pick, but that's what the Bengals are making. Can Dexter Lawrence help us or whoever randomly is there at 10 that we're taking on defense? Well, in that scope, it's Dexter Lawrence. So I think it speaks less of, and I've seen those overarching takes, this means the draft class sucks and the Bengals just wanted to, hit the eject button. Maybe, but I think it was more so just in a simple way that Dexter Lawrence could help them win more right now. And the 10th overall pick, while you're giving up a cost-controlled player for the next 5 years, they're not worried about the next 5 years. They want to win right now. So, is this draft the greatest draft of all time? No. But to make it seem like, and I'm not saying you are, Johnny Boy, but the people that have some of these takes are saying like, nothing in this draft. Like, no, that's bullshit. There are opportunities in every draft. Even the worst drafts you've ever seen in history have players that come out of it. So that just means you got to do your homework harder to make sure you find whoever those hits are. So this is still a golden opportunity. To me, this isn't going to deter me from the Jets having 4 picks inside the top 44. There are a lot of players I love in this draft that I think can be immediate impact players at some immediate impact player of need positions for the Jets. So, no, I'm not going to pretend that this is a historic draft like everyone's saying 2027 is, but I'm definitely not going to throw it the other way and say this is like the worst draft of all time. There's no opportunities here. There's plenty of opportunities for the Jets to improve.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with both of you on certain points. So listen, there is, people say it's a weak draft, but again, like you said, I don't believe so. I still think at 5, right, the Giants had viable solutions at defense. That being said, there are times when teams make just bad decisions, right? Like it just happens. It just so happens that this one happened within the first 10 picks of the draft, where the Bengals traded away a premium draft pick for a player. And like you said, it is he who's gonna help them win. Yeah, it's in their eyes, it's Dexter Lawrence. People make bad decisions all the time. It just so happens that this one was in a spotlight position for a team that is looking to win now. So what's the implication for the Bengals? I don't know if there are any implication. I mean, basically they just got rid of a 10th spot, in the draft. But other than that, in their eyes, they made the right decision. I just want to know how far bent over they were when it happened. Being that it was 10 and just only 10 is amazing.
Well, if the Bengals opened up their mouth, you'd see fingers because someone shoved their arm up their ass like a puppet. Because that's what just the hell happened here, man.
Yeah,
dude. If I'm Joe Burrow, I'm pissed. I'm pissed because I'm like,
wait, what?
Yo, like Joe Burrow, if they gave away the 10th pick, dude, they need line. Like, weren't they talking about potentially getting maybe a guard or something?
I thought they were just going defense personally. I don't know. This isn't a Bengals podcast, so I have no flipping idea, I guess. But like, I thought for my gut, as we try to play this game to do our mock drafts, right? Or we have to try to guess what other teams are going to do. So I'm not in the trenches. My guess would have been like the best defender on the board is going there to Cincinnati, especially with them losing Trey Hendrickson this offseason. I thought, oh shit, they need defensive help like nobody's business. So I thought that's what was going to happen. Whoever was the best defender was going to be there.
Yeah, I think the consensus from most of the websites that I was looking at, like they were looking for like an edge, a DB. They were looking for a linebacker.
Oh, cool. So you're siding with me. So screw Johnny Boy is what you're saying.
Well, here's the thing, right?
I
like
thought it was O-line, man.
Dexter Lawrence, right? He's interior, right? That provides pressure. So I don't think anything that they needed was really like Dexter Lawrence, but apparently it was in their eyes. So again, people make mistakes, and that's okay. Johnny Boy, still love you.
It's all good. I mean, at the end of the day, who's gonna drop? That's what I'm looking at it too. I don't, dude. It's just it's not again, to answer your question from the top of this actual podcast today, it's not good for the Jets. Like I think they're a guy that they were probably looking at or whatever. It's gonna come off the board. So
okay, I want to play a game. Let's play a game, okay? And it's time to play the game. It's a binary choice. It's this or that. Okay. Fact or fiction. And there's one subject on today's show. It seemed like for months it was a fact that the Jets were taking Arvell Reese. Okay, let's just get to the draft already. They're taking Arvell Reese. And then over the last 2 weeks, David Bailey, he's gonna be the guy. We're like, all right, I guess that's what people are saying. Todd McShay, snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap. Let me throw this up from Todd McShay's Twitter account, who just posted this last night. Flying to LA early tomorrow morning. I'm going to bed believing Arvell Reese is the pick for the Jets at 2. Love won't last to pick 7, maybe not to Tennessee at 4. And if the Cardinals want Ty Simpson, and they do, they better move way up, which explains why they're trying hard to get out of 3 to take Ty Simpson at a different point. Big show tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. The highlight of this for Jet fans is Todd McShay was the El Capitan of the David Bailey Jets train. And now all of a sudden, this motherfucker jumped off the train and said, parachute, see ya, suckers. Yeah, I had you for 2 weeks. And now it's back to Arvell Reese. What the flip-flop pancake motherfucking eating hell is happening here with Todd McShay, huh, boys?
Shout out to draft day.
Pancake eating motherfucker.
Great line. My wife's favorite line from that movie.
It's a great line.
Dude, I don't know, man. Like,
what does this mean? This guy in particular it's not like Todd McShay was some random guy who's now saying Arvell Reese. We're like saying, guys, look, someone's saying Arvell Reese. This was the leader of the David Bailey bullshit train that said he was coming to the Jets. And then he had Albert Breer on his podcast, and he basically said, David Bailey, that's what I'm hearing. Albert Breer's like, fait accompli. That is how it all happened. So fait accompli. And then he says that, and we're like, all right, Daniel Jeremiah, David Bailey, Peter Schrager, David Bailey, fuck me, it's David Bailey. And all of a sudden, this bastard, days before the draft, says, it's Arvell Reese. Like,
well, listen,
where's the conviction? Where's the conviction?
You said there are 2 choices, right? Fact or fiction.
Apparently, yeah.
So it's fiction, because
this is fiction, or what he originally said.
What I'm saying, this is fiction. I think his first take on Bailey is probably his real take, and this is fiction. But in the media industry, right, going against the grain sometimes gets you more clicks. So why not? Like, just jump backwards or jump
keep
to the
going against the grain.
Right, keep going against the grain. When everyone zigs, you zag, and you know what? Everyone's saying the same thing. Well, I'm not going to get lost in the muddy waters of everyone saying the same thing. So I'm just going to jump, and I'm just going to go the opposite direction. How much does that affect his salary? 0.
That's it. Yeah, nothing. I guess that's a good point. By the way, real quick, let's just address this comment from We Got the Sauce. Love the show. My 6-year-old is listening right now, and she's F-word police officer. Not thrilled. Sorry. I try to avoid swearing on this show. So it's been, the Vegas over-under has clearly hit in the first 24 minutes. So apologies, We Got the Sauce. But thank you for supporting the show. We'll try to curtail that behavior moving forward. My apologies to everyone in the audience. Sorry about that. Anywho, so you call this fiction, just going against the grain because that's the money mover, right? It does make sense because everyone was saying Reese. So for someone to say Bailey, which he did 2 weeks ago, gets a lot of clicks. All of us talk about it on the show. Whoa, Todd is saying this. Todd's saying this. Dad. And then all of a sudden he's like, Arvell, actually. And now we're like, Arvell. This bastard. I think that's one of the allowed words. This guy, this person right here, this man, okay, is playing us like a fiddle. Now we're talking about him once again on the show. The Todd McShay Show, the McShay Report. This son of a gun.
It's Finding Nemo, right? Mine.
Yeah.
That's it.
Look, man, I've never liked Todd McShay. I've always thought Todd McShay was, he clickbaits a lot of stuff, rage baits individuals to get on the stuff, so I mean, no disrespect to the guy, but there's some
I think you have to
people
say that at the beginning, pal.
Yeah.
If you're going to insult someone, I think you have to say that at the beginning, not like berate the man and go, yeah, with all due respect. By the way, Philium, your guy's in here. Philium, let's give a shout out to Philium. He's heading out. I appreciate you.
Wow.
He says, got to go, but have a great day, Coffee Club and the Jets Worldwide Flight Crew. Appreciate you, Philium. Another raffle ticket to our contest. Thanks, buddy. But go ahead.
Yeah. Shout out to our guy Phil, man. I love that.
Go ahead. Call out some more Todd McShay. This flip-flop.
I'm just saying that's the thing. Like, he's a, flip-flopping individual. Some might say he's the flip-flopper of, the NBA because this dude just throws himself all over everything. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Especially when you're, there. Is it that not ESPN, but is it that the, newscasters and the media like that are just, it's so bad now that they just have to do things like this to get us to talk about them. I don't know, man. Look, I still think that as much as I want offense at 2, I don't think that's going to happen. It's going to be Reese. So part of that, when he says I'm going to bed believing Reese, I feel like that's fact. But the rest of all of this stuff, and then dude literally says big show tomorrow night for new Spotify studios.
Yeah, after saying that clip, yeah, it's a good point.
It's just one of those where I'm like, dude, like for real, a lot of guys don't like. We were talking about it, Mel Kiper, right? Yeah. And I love Mel Kiper, bro. Like, I'm OG original with that cat from back in the day. Does he say some off the wall stuff? He definitely does, so but it's Reese. I still think it's going to be Reese. And yeah, I think it's going to be Reese. Okay. And Reese.
You like Mel Kiper.
I do.
I'm not a Mel Kiper fan.
Oh, I love Mel Kiper.
Yeah. I like his iconic status, but some of the stuff that this guy has, some of the stuff that he says is completely off the wall. But I will say that there are and the reason why I'm not a big Mel Kiper fan is because at times it feels as though he just mails it in. Like, he'll just look at like, yeah, all right, fine. Here's like we just said with Todd McShay, right? Sometimes you flip-flop for impact.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I've seen several times where, and I can't name exact times, but I can remember in the back of my head going, what the hell is this guy talking about? I've seen Mel Kiper. He just basically like looks at the big board, of whoever has put out a big board and just goes, all right, I agree. You know what? Screw that pick. We're going to throw this guy in. It just seems as though there are times when he, and again, I respect his iconic status, but there are times where I just feel as though there are times where he will mail it in. Again, I'm not quoting exact times, but and I'm not trying to be sensational in saying that either. It's just the way I feel.
I would say, I haven't been to that level of like hanging out with Mel Kiper or anybody, but I would imagine that throughout that process, like I know something Mel has admitted on air before is like, if he has a mock draft of a first round, like 32 picks and he's doing the whole thing, he will sneak in a player at the end of the first round that is his guy, and he's using it as a opportunity when people go, whoa, this guy at the end of the first round, and it gives Mel an opportunity to talk about that player and try to see if he could be early on a player that he's very high on, and he works him in. Not that like he's heard something, because like Peter Schrager, for instance, drops his mock draft based on intel that he's heard. It's supposed to be plugged in picks Mel Kiper in his own way is supposed to be that too. That's supposed to be informed stuff, not just what Mel Kiper would do every time. So I've heard him admit that. So maybe that's part of the thing to cause shakeups, because they have Field Yates, Mel Kiper, Jordan Reed, Matt Miller. I'm sure there's more I'm forgetting, and apologies to the ESPN NFL draft crew of people I'm forgetting beyond that. They're cranking out mock drafts like every other week. So like they all can't have the same mock drafts, and most of them aren't because they have different opinions anyway. But like David Bailey, Arvell Reese, it makes sense for those guys to flip flop. Like 1 week it's this, 1 week it's this, to have the conversation if it's a debate. So it is interesting. But I love Mel Kiper, and to your point, it is that iconic status. Without him, I don't think we're talking about the draft the way we're talking about it right now. If he never exists, if he just, instead of writing draft reports, writes reports on flowers, I just don't think we're doing all this. And by the way, the only reason that random flower thing came up is do you guys know, I'm sure you guys, from The Hangover, Zach Galifianakis?
Yeah.
You know that guy? So he joined the Rich Eisen show this week, and I'm like, oh, he's funny, let me see what he had to say. And they're promoting this show he has coming out on Netflix called The Gardening Show. I said, oh, it must be a bit like it's a gardening show, but it's really some, I want to make sure I don't swear for our younger listeners and viewers, like they're just messing around. Like it's like a comedy show, but it's dressed up as a gardening show. No. He just has a green thumb, and he's doing a gardening show about soil and just growing plants. And I'm like, what the hell? And so I listened to this interview. I'm like 10 minutes in, and they're still talking about soil and plants. I'm like, wait a second. What? I said, I thought this was a comedy show. I thought this was something else. So, sometimes you start going down that road, and who knows? I don't know why I randomly brought that up in my head.
It's totally going to be an Andy Kaufman situation.
Hopefully so. Hopefully so.
I hope so too.
So.
I like Between Two Ferns though.
I do. He hasn't done one of those in a couple of years, and apparently Rich sort of brought that up. Rich Eisen said like, oh, like when's the next one? And then the way Zach answered, like, I don't know, in today's society, like with people being mean, like he didn't think it would hit. And Rich said, everyone knows it's a joke. So like in a good way, like not a joke, like a bad show, like a joke, like, hey, why wouldn't you do it? So, and he's like, maybe, but it doesn't sound like Zach's very motivated to do it. So that's too bad, because those were super funny.
Dude, I say this, Tigers love pepper. They hate cinnamon.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I appreciate that. Boys, let's do this as well, as we're getting lit up by all kinds of things here in the middle of the show. Appreciate it. We have 400 people in the room. So, guys, like the video, hit subscribe here on YouTube. Again, we've been flirting with 8,550 subscribers the last week and change. And I think, Johnny Boy, me and you are going to be at the draft. I don't think that I know that. And there is an opportunity for us to throw wild gasoline all over the place for our brand. So yes, hit that subscribe button. We're one away from 8,550. Someone hit that button, for goodness sake. Also, another button you can hit. Like I said, we have 400 people in the room, including over 120 of those 400 watching right now on YouTube. Hit that like button. That is absolutely free to do. And we have only 32 likes, but 120 people in the room. You guys are making me feel incredibly uncomfortable. So let's try to fix that ASAP. And boys, can you do a plug? Because this is, in fact, a Jets Worldwide takeover. Yeah.
What other YouTube Jets channels besides Boy Green Daily and Jets Worldwide will be delivering live coverage from the NFL draft this week? You tell me. I'm listening, because this show and Jets Worldwide, you should be subscribed to. You should be a channel member. You should get in on everything that is available to you with both of these channels. We're on every Friday night at 7:30 p.m. on YouTube. We are there religiously. And this gentleman, Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green, is here to deliver Jets news to you daily. It's part of the title of the show. 7:30 a.m. Is there any coincidence that he is 7:30 a.m. and we are 7:30 p.m.? I think not. So, Johnny, anything else to add?
and if you don't like that, I got 2 words for you. Suck it. I'm sorry, man. I am so hyped on WrestleMania.
You should
We
be.
talk about it over there as well. If you guys are not hanging out with us on a Friday night, 7:30 p.m., we are talking Jets. We just had our guy. Big shout out to Juicy Jet that came on. If you guys don't know who he is, this man has literally been at the last 8 drafts, has been at every single Jets game the last 4 years. This man is a die hard. And to be able to pick his brain a little bit, get an understanding on, why do you put yourself through that torture at every single game? It's pretty cool. So come check us out. 7:30 p.m. Jets worldwide. And if that doesn't help you, I mean, look, I'm gonna do a little bit of some $1 Million Man, because every man has a price for the $1 Million Man.
All right, there you go, baby. Love it. Hey, by the way, the other thing I love is memberships being gifted from the high heavens. NC Green, hit those chimes. Membership went to Jet Green out in our audience. Shout out to Jet Green. NC Green, by the way, it must be your brother from another mother. You have 9 raffle tickets to the contest for NC Green, with that membership going out to Jet Green. Love all the green in the audience. That is absolutely marvelous. Let's freaking go. And yes, as Hop Up Pop says, subscribe now to Jets Worldwide, all one word. Again, make sure you guys do so. I'll throw that back up on the screen so you guys can see it. Hop on over. They will also drop it in the YouTube chat, that direct link, so you guys can hop on over as well and make it even easier for all the millions, 375 people, the millions. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. So we'd really appreciate that out there in the audience. Let's work in a little bit of this before we go to the phone lines, boys. Rich Samini dropped his column. Now, it wasn't the typical column where there's all these breadcrumbs in there. It was a more long-form piece. But it was some advice from Jimmy Johnson, 2-time winning Super Bowl head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, who is in this very position after the Herschel Walker trade, with a bunch of picks, with a chance to utilize those assets to turn around the franchise. And they did. That was what led to the Dallas Cowboys dynasty, with the 3 Super Bowls in a very short period of time, 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. Some Cowboys fans believe they would have won 4 Super Bowls if a certain thing didn't happen in a particular NFC championship game, but that is neither here nor there. But interesting that there have been teams in history that have been in this position before. Let's shout out ESPN's Rich Samini for this graphic we're about to highlight. This is teams that have made 8 or more first and second round picks in back-to-back drafts since 1990, which obviously the Jets are in a position to do with the 2026 draft and the 2027 draft. The Jets have 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks in this year's draft. They have 3 first-round picks and a second-round pick in next year's draft. The Dolphins did it. They had 9 picks over a 2-year span in 2020 and 2021. They went to the playoffs 2 times, but didn't win. And they're still looking for one of those playoff wins. LOL. Oh, Dolphins. Anywho, let's go to some of the other teams. The Indianapolis Colts had 8 picks over a 2-year span. That's 2018 to 2019. They went to the playoffs once, but no win. No soup for you. We go to the Cleveland Browns. 8 draft picks over that span of 2017, 2018. 1 playoff, 1 win. All right. Okay. All right. At least you won a playoff game. Good for you, Cleveland. Let's go to the Denver Broncos. 2009, 2010, they had 8 draft picks. They won 5 AFC West titles and won a Super Bowl championship. Yeah, that was pretty successful. 2015, taking out the Carolina Panthers and MVP Cam Newton in that Super Bowl. So it led to great prominence having all those draft picks. The New England Patriots here. Yes. Great. Yes. The Patriots had 8 picks over a 2-year span, 2009, 2010. 5 AFC titles and a Super Bowl championship again. Oh, yeah, I forgot to do this for the Dolphins. The Bills aren't on this list, but...
Why not?
Okay, great. Why the hell not?
And the Broncos.
Yeah, sure. Colts.
Did we just turn heel?
Your mom. Your mother's mom. Yeah, there you go. Maybe we'll get some of those turns tonight. We'll see. Two other teams made this list. The Minnesota Vikings, 1994, 1995, 8 picks. They had 5 playoff appearances, 4 playoff wins, so obviously very successful there. And then the Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? For old Hop on Pop in here. Jimmy Johnson's Cowboys went to the playoffs 4 times and had 2 Super Bowl titles. They capitalized, obviously, the most of any of these teams of having these draft picks. And really the message from Jimmy Johnson, and you guys can read the full column on ESPN.com. I also wrote an aggregate piece and added some of my opinion to it that, just because we should celebrate that we have all these picks because that's a great opportunity, but all it is an opportunity. The Jets, believe it or not. Oh, let's play a quick trivia game. Okay, boys, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
How many times in Jets franchise history have they had multiple first-round picks in the same draft? Okay, you can count this one coming up this weekend if you'd like for this number. So how many times, and fans in the audience, you guys can try to guess on this too. How many times in New York Jets franchise history have they had multiple first-round picks in the same draft? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for that number in Jets franchise history. It does include the New York Titans history, if you want to go all the way back that far. So 1960 to right now. How many times have they had multiple first-round picks in the same draft? Jai Boy, your answer is 2?
No, now because you hit me with the Titans thing, so
I'm just trying to throw you off, Johnny.
I probably am.
I'm gonna say those. I'm gonna keep it those.
Okay, 2. Okay.
A 1, a 2, a 3. 3 times.
Okay. Well, let's start off with Johnny Boy. Johnny Boy, you're obviously wrong. Good Lord. Like, think about it, man. So we just had it with Sauce and Jermaine Johnson and Zach Wilson and Elijah Tucker. That's already 2. And that's just like the last 5 years, man. So come on, Johnny Boy. You got to think even harder. And then the 2000 NFL draft. I'm already up to 3. We already beat your number, Johnny Boy. What a terrible guess. What a terrible answer. All right.
4.
Now we go. So now
Coffee
we go.
Coffee hasn't hit.
Okay. All right. And you say, Snowball, you say, what's your final answer?
4 times.
The answer is 9, boys. And
9,
this
okay.
weekend will be 10. Because there's even more, right? D. Milner and Sheldon Richardson.
Right. And
D. Milner, Sheldon Richardson, the 2000 NFL draft. We could start continuing to go back.
Adams and May, yes.
2008, Vernon Golston and Dustin Keller. So there have been good and bad, which is sort of the point of bringing up this entire story, is just because you have the picks does not mean it works. It gives you a chance to dig out of this hole. So try to dig out of the hole. That's what the Jets have to do. And Jimmy Johnson imparted all kinds of wisdom in that piece. Let's do this. Everyone has been praying for my brother Brody, and I've appreciated it. And I won't lie, it's been pretty rough, but I try to bury that beneath the surface and just try to, forge along and march along here and do the show I do every day and all this other work that I have to do because I have to support my family. But my Hop on Pop has provided a key Brody update here. So thank you, Hop on Pop, for doing this. And for those who don't know, Brody is my brother. And you guys might have seen him a few times on the show over the last couple of months as I taught him how to call in and do all that stuff. And he is a diehard Saints fan. I love him. He's my eldest brother that I have. And he just is full of love. And that's a really cool thing. So he's been going through some very challenging times. And my father's provided this update. Another positive day, a long battle ahead and not out of the woods, but we will take it. Thank you so much for the outpouring of prayers, love, and support. God is good. And Imamji. There you go. Getting that all thrown out in there. So we can't provide much more details beyond that, folks. If you can please respect our privacy with this very difficult situation. But it does look like the arrow is pointing in the right direction. Thank God. Thank you guys for your prayers. And there's no doubt in my mind that the positivity and prayers that have been coming from you guys have certainly affected the situation. I believe that. And like I said, it's been very rough. So I appreciate everybody that's been doing that. And thank you, Pop, for the update.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
That's
awesome. That's so awesome, man, to hear that, dude. Every day, so I'm somebody that prays. I pray every single day. I pray for my kids. I pray for you guys. I pray for every person out there. But I will also say, your brother's name. Not only him, there's other people that are going through stuff right now as well that are in my prayers. And I won't say their names, right, of course, here.
Right.
But just know that I feel like praying works, and I'm glad. I really look forward to when your pops puts a update up. He usually does it on IG, and that's dope, man. Is a good guy. Like, meeting him, and I keep saying it, and my memory will always be him literally wanting every single draft pick to be a New Orleans Saint, and seeing BG's face when his brother was like, "You know who needs one too, right?" Let me guess, the New Orleans Saints. Yeah, I was like, dude, that's because I've only had nothing but sisters, and I love my sisters, right? But I've always wanted a brother, and for you to share that, it's pretty dope, and it's amazing. And your pops, you come in here, like I've shared these things with you in the past, where it's awesome that you have a day with your father to come on your show and talk about sports, because I talk with my pops sports all the time with him. You met my father.
I have. He's a wonderful man.
Yeah, and I just, so Snowball as well. And you guys keep doing that stuff like that, man. So prayers up for Brody. He's gonna make it. He's gonna do it. He's gonna get back. And then I just want this guy to come back on the show and just straight up say, hey, man, with the second pick, they should trade with the New Orleans Saints, because the Saints need the second pick, and we're gonna get something there. So.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Go ahead, Snowball.
No, I think the trend is your friend. So if things are trending up, that things are positive. I don't want to get into too much personal stuff, but I had a brother as well recently who did not fare well. So and things never really seem to trend in the right direction. So being that for your brother things are trending in the right direction, I view that as the ultimate positive. So prayers up to him. Church today, I will say a prayer for him as well.
Thank you so much, and I'm so sorry about that, Snowball. Thank you for sharing. Like I said, it's been very nice, because it did not look great. So we'll leave it at that. I see MFC is gifting a membership. That's super cool. Appreciate that out in the audience. Let's go. Gander reading up and down, left to right. Who did MFC just gift this membership to out in the audience? It went too fast, but I think I saw
Celso Porto. Let's go.
There we go. Hit it. Nice. Let's go, Jimmy. MFC, let's add that to your raffle ticket total. Appreciate you, pal, out there in the audience. Beautiful. And folks, I've got great news. We have officially just reached 8,550 subscribers. Let's friggin' go.
Number 44.
Woo! 44, that's me!
Get some cold cuts. Get some cold cuts. Get some cold cuts.
Woo! Give me some!
There you go, baby. That means we are 1,450 subscribers away from 10K. And I'm telling you, Johnny boy, I think me and you, we're live at the draft. I'm not going to be looking at my phone much outside of taking some pictures and videos to try to commemorate all of this with each other. Whatever we're doing, I want to, if you see me saying, oh boy, another picture, Paul, I hope that's what you're saying, because I want to annoy you with how many pictures and videos I'm going to try to take to remember all of this. But I think this is a pivotal, just like the Jets. Wow, this is a pivotal 2 drafts. It could change the entire outlook of the franchise. I think this is a pivotal couple days. No pressure, buddy, that this could change our YouTube channels of just like absolute gasoline all over the place, and it launches us to some other place because some cool crap ends up happening at the draft. So I truly believe that, and I thank everybody. There's 8,550 of you out there in the audience, but I remember all the people at the beginning that were here when I had nobody, and that's really when you can look in the mirror and say, like, there was nothing here. There was no reason to subscribe at that point, and people did. And that whether you jump on the bandwagon now or you did then, it's just super cool to see how this has all grown. And man, I'm so happy for all your guys' success over there on the Jets Worldwide channel. You guys got memberships. You guys got, I need to like add that in. So like whenever you guys, get even, I want to like hear, I wish I had that like almost as a text tone when a new member joins Jets Worldwide. I like an airplane, I'm getting some peanuts or pretzels. Like that's sort of what I want to make sure that I sort of secure. If you don't get what I'm saying, go to the Jets Worldwide channel and subscribe and join join specifically on one of their live shows, and you'll hear exactly what I'm talking about. So,
yeah,
beautiful.
Hey, BG, let me ask you something real quick.
Sure. Yeah.
Because it was on this show that we talked about the Jimmy Johnson stuff. This was a while back. Okay. And one of the things that I liked about the actual article, shout out to Rishamini, was Jimmy Johnson saying like every coach was like essentially playing for their job. And he was like, but I wasn't. Like I felt like no, because I wanted to build for the future. Even though in that first year, dude, there was people calling for his head. I don't know if a lot of people remember. Them dudes went, I think, 1-15 or something.
They did go
crazy like that.
They did. And that was exactly the record. Yeah.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, I think they only won like 7 games the next year. So just think about that as well. And him saying the stuff that he's talking about, I was like, damn, that's pretty cool, man. Of him getting on here and being like, look, the Jets, they just need to get the right players. And I was like, hey, damn Skippy, man. So do I think that maybe, it's going to be something?
Are you okay there? You look like you just almost had a seizure, for God's sake. But yeah, I know it gets emotional. All right. While you're gathering yourself, let's get some super chats in here. We got the sauce. Appreciates us turning down the swearing on the show.
Wow.
Is Denzel Boston at 16 a reach?
Yes.
So yes is the simple answer to that question. But the sort of analysis of it is something I like to use, and I've used it a lot this offseason. A lot of the articles I write, I try to write at least 2 articles every day about the Jets. And sometimes it's 3, 4, 5. Sometimes it's only 2 with some of the other new jobs that I've picked up. And something I use all the time as a reference point is the consensus big board. You guys can all Google it. It's public information. And what that website does is consolidates every important mock draft in the universe, ESPN, NFL Network, all these big places, Draft Network, PFF, all these different places. It says, here's what the experts think that all the players, if you stack them all up, like Fernando Mendoza's number 1, but this person says, Denzel Boston consistently, I don't know, sometimes it changes because obviously some things change, but he's in like the 28 range and we're picking at 16. So yes, it would be a massive reach. But here's the thing that you have to do here and sort of figure out in your brain if you're the Jets too, because this is a very realistic, and I'm glad you brought this up today. We got the sauce. I saw we have other super chats. We'll get to those, I promise. Thank you for doing that, folks. The thing that we all have to sort of rattle our brains around here is that this has just become more realistic based on that Giants-Bengals trade, is that if the 3 wide receivers go before the Jets pick, and Muji doesn't want to trade up for whatever reason, let's say that's all smoke, that's not real, then he has to determine, am I taking the 4th wide receiver off the board and maybe 5th, depending on what happens in front of the Jets? Maybe someone else knows the Jets are going to go wide receiver and they trade up in front of them and we get sniped. And then would you be willing to take Denzel Boston at 16, which, again, I'm saying off the top rope, we got the sauce, is a reach. But if that's a guy you love, what are you going to do? Try to trade back a few spots, still get your guy, and then you miss out on him? All because you're trying to be cute to get a 3rd-round pick? I don't know. That's dangerous. So, sometimes you just got to take your guy. But I also don't want to force a square peg in a round hole. So, like, for instance, to me, let's say Denzel Boston. Let's play this scenario. Denzel Boston is the 4th or 5th receiver that would be on the board here for the Jets. I don't want to, like, the Jets desperately need a wide receiver, but I don't want to just lock in that I'm taking a wide receiver at 16 if the board falls a different way. I would take Vega, the offensive lineman, potentially over Boston. I would take maybe a safety if you're in the Dylan Thieneman, or maybe there's, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, maybe you could convince me on instead of the receiver. If the value isn't appropriate, maybe I would take, I'm just trying to think, a corner. Maybe Jermod McCoy is there at 16. I'd probably take Jermod McCoy and get my first or second corner, depending where Mansour Delane went, over the 5th wide receiver. So maybe an edge rusher. If they went Sonny Styles at 2, maybe I would go edge rusher at 16 instead. So it's not as simple as these are the choices. But like in this particular case, I do believe that by every measure, Denzel Boston at 16 would be a reach. But the fact of the matter is sometimes you don't have a choice. So if you want to take a wide receiver, if you don't take it at 16, maybe the receiver's not there at 33 and you're playing that risky game. But I just want to say, in a greater scope of making decision-making, we'll go around the panel here and you guys can all comment on this. I would probably go all these other positions, Vega, Jermod McCoy, I would be really intrigued with. Safety, potentially. I don't know if I'd force it. Denzel Boston makes a lot of sense. We all call him 6'4". Apparently, he measured into the combine a little shorter than that. He's 6'3", but still, it is in theory a perfect complement to Garrett, but he's got problems, which is why he's not going inside the top 10. So, boys, Denzel Boston reach. Johnny Boy, you started off and said, yes, he is. Anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, because I'm in agreement with you. Like, you know me, dude. I'm a trench guy. So if Vega drops and he's there at 16, you're running that up there. I would feel like, at least, because
Really?
then you build your line, dude, for a long time to come, and you're able to essentially, right? You got Gino in the back, keep him upright, give him time to throw the ball. I feel like in the later rounds, you could get some other wide receivers that are there. Because what Casey Concepcion keeps talking about, that's one of the guys that's falling, and he'll be in the second round. There's other wide receivers, because what is the real, difference between Lemon, Tate, and I guess Tyson to Denzel Boston and all the other wide receivers as well. So I don't know. I mean, but I know that building a dominant offensive line is key for years to come, and we would be straight for a while. But you can't have first round offensive line picks because you're not going to be able to pay them in the future. Stop being cheap, right? Them dudes got money. They need to spend it in the right. I'm not pissed off if they do it on the line of itself. So Denzel Boston for me at 16 is a reach. Do I like Denzel Boston? Yes, I do. But not at 60, because wide receiver it's a need for us too. So, and I hope they double dip in this draft as well.
That'd be fun. Hey, Johnny Boy, what's your full name?
Johnny Boy.
It doesn't matter what your full name is, baby. Oh yeah. All right, anywho, let's go to Snowball.
That was good. What?
If in the immortal words of Aaron Glenn, if you love a player, you go get that player.
When you said the immortal words, I immediately thought you were going to say the immortal words of Hulk Hogan. But anywho, go ahead. Yes.
Say your prayers and eat your vitamins or whatever you said. Go to school and do your homework.
Yeah,
but whatever it is. So in those words, if you love the player, go get your player. Are the Jets in love with Denzel Boston? I don't know. I don't sit in the office at One Jets Drive. But the thing is that the deviation between the rest of the wide receivers in the draft, besides the top 3, to me, doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of deviation between them. So, you can wait and get your receiver later on. The first name Denzel, though, on a wide receiver does scare me from previous years. But that being put aside, and
I've not thought about that. That is unfortunate.
Right? Let's wait until later and get this Denzel guy. So I'm in the boat of yes, it is a reach, but again, you don't know how these people are thinking about. Now, here's my question. My question is this, right?
All right. Yeah.
Who is? I mean, ultimately, the responsibility falls with Muji and Glenn.
Yeah.
But do you have like this inner feeling about the recruiting staff for the scouts for the Jets, that this year is going to be different because of who they are and what's in comparison to last year? Do you think we're going to improve on the quality of player? Because Jimmy Johnson was talking about, if you have the dearth of players, the dearth of picks, right? The trick is, and this is no ultimate formula to get the right players. That seems to make sense. But is there a marked improvement from last year to this year based on like who we have scouting players? It seems like to me, right, that there was improvement, and there probably will be continued improvement in the quality of player that's taken by the Jets. Again, the trend is your friend, and I'm trying to cross my fingers here and see that. But I seem to think that we're going to get better quality players, if not at the pick that we have. If we're trading back and forwards, that there'll be a big difference.
All right, let's get another super chat in here. This is from Mac, and this has my engine a-revving.
Wow.
And this is why I think it's important in life, and I'm dead serious on this. A $5 super chat. Thank you to Mac for sending this in. To have an open mind, that you don't just have a take, and I don't give a shit what anyone says, and no one's ever going to change my take. This is why I think it's important. So the Dexter Lawrence trade happens last night. I see our buddy Jim Lurch, the old man child's in there with a nice juicy super chat. You son of a gun. I'll get to you in proper time, sir. But, when I saw this trade initially, I'm like, yikes, bad news for the Jets. And I give an immediate reaction. You guys saw it on the YouTube short that I put up there. I said, bad news for the Jets. Again, sort of to boil down, we talked a lot about it in the first 20 minutes, so you guys can go listen back to that. But essentially, in the very simple form to explain it quickly, the Giants are more likely to take a wide receiver than the Bengals are. Jets need a wide receiver. Yeah, caveman, that is bad for Jets. Bad. So that's the take. That's the overarching take. However, I love being open to my opinion being changed. And Mahar Khalil with the $5 super chat, all of a sudden I read this and something is revving in there. So Mac, let's read it out for audio-only listeners. This might be a good thing, referencing the Dexter Lawrence Giants-Bengals trade for the Jets. This will put the Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles, or the Washington Commanders wanting or needing to make a splash where the Jets can benefit. That makes a lot of sense. There has been a lot of rumors that the Cowboys could be looking to move up from 12. And one of the rumors I heard is the Cowboys going to get in front of the Giants at 5. Now that the Giants are going to be in front of them twice at 5 and 10, that could increase the heat of the Cowboys doing something. Washington at 7. If the Jets call and say, hey, here's this thing, and by the way, we're going to fuck the Giants on the way, and the Commanders like, okay. All right, we're a little more motivated to help you out if you say that. There is, Mac, that's a great point. This is a good news item that I didn't consider, is the ripple effects inside the own division that could create desperation from other gentlemen. I wrote about it in my piece when I talked about Rich Cimini's Jimmy Johnson advice, that there are desperate people in every draft. Can Darren Mucci take advantage of those people that are worried about the right now, and they don't think? You're in a moment. There's 8 minutes on the clock. We've got to make decisions. Can Darren Mucci take advantage of those people? Whether it's 2027 assets or some combination of the both, it's a fine line. We've talked about dancing. I think Mac is onto something here. I think that is a good news thing that I hadn't thought of, that, again, I can be open to changing my mind on, that it changes. Does it change any of your mind? We'll start off with you, Snowball, on this one. Does this possibly, or do you just sell this down the river and, sorry, Mac, I don't buy any of this BS, or do you think that there's something here?
No, there's always a ripple effect for any move that's made within the first round. It's always going to trickle down backwards behind them. So yeah, I agree. Yes, this will put pressure on these three teams to want to jump. So in short, I'll just say yes, there are. If that is your question, repeat your question so I get correct.
Yes. So basically, because I think me and you and
Am I
Johnny
clear?
Boy, yes, yeah, we can hear you. Yep. Yeah, we all three, I think you might be lagged a little bit, but us
Okay.
three on the panel all believe that this was bad news for the Jets. Me and you were more aligned for the reason why. Johnny
Yeah.
Boy was a different reason, but we all thought it was bad news. And Mac is suggesting that, hey, maybe it's not all bad. There is a world that exists that this ripple effect benefits the Jets. Maybe a more desperate Cowboys team, right? They give out 12, 20, and a I'm making this up, but a first round pick in 2027 and 2028. They're like, oh, we need to do everything to get in front of the Giants. So they do something crazy. Like, that's over the top. But just as a random example, that maybe the Jets could benefit from that because of what the Giants did. So is there a world where maybe there actually is a sliver of good news here for the Dexter Lawrence thing? It's not all bad.
Yeah, you would hope so. You would hope that there would be a positive that comes out of this. But again, to my knowledge, anyone who's jumping in front of us, that again, it's I don't see it as a benefit.
Okay,
Simple.
fair enough. Johnny boy, again, you were on the bad news train, but you thought because the Giants were going to go double dip defense, could you see this sliver of good news that, again, it could lead to a desperate other NFC East team benefiting the Jets, like a Cowboys trade up, or Washington being more willing to move with that trade up from the Jets to block the Giants? Do you see any of that, or is that BS?
I mean, there was a conversation with Dallas at one point, right, where they were willing to maybe give up the first two picks that they have this year to go to the second. Dude, I don't know, man, because then I think about, like, after us, which is Arizona, and they could go up to Arizona and say, hey, we'll give you this and don't have to give up as much in regards to what they would have to give up with the Jets. So, I mean, I understand what he's saying. So it's very intriguing. So yeah, I could see that this could be a good thing. Okay. But it's two to tango,
sure.
And jumping from where they're at to two, they have to give up a lot. Even I think Washington's at 7.
Yes.
Right. So and then Dallas is at 12
and 20,
and then Philly is at.
I have no idea where Philly is. They're in the 20s or something.
Yeah. So like, it's a lot that they would have.
So it's possible. So it's possible.
It's possible.
Okay.
But
all right, let's get to this bastard. Let's get to MC. Oh, sorry. We got this off. I'm sorry for you and your children. And let's get to MC Show Digital, the Man Show Boy Green Digital.
Wow.
$5 super chat. MC Show Digital is in the running for our contest this month. Appreciate it. And so is, by the way, Mac, of course, with his super chats as well. I hope you boys are celebrating Giants greatness this morning in my honor. 2 top 10 picks now, and Chunky is gone. Oh, Giants select wide receiver at 5 or 10. So, hey, Manchild, if you missed it at the beginning of the show, I will reiterate it for Giant fans. Not that I'm going to love to say this to you. And we're doing a mock draft on the show today, Sunday. We're doing a mock draft tomorrow. That just got a lot more spicy with the Giants having these picks. So we'll be doing like a 3 or 4, I can't remember what we agreed to, but a 3 or 4 round mock draft. So now we all have all these picks. Jets have 25% of the top 10 picks, so or whatever the first round pick. So that's going to be awesome. So, I believe the Giants, absolutely. I haven't seen any trade grades or anything. I'm sure ESPN has it on their website, so I have no idea what they've graded it. But if I was grading it, the Giants got an A+ on this return. That you were able to move Chunky, as you like to call him, to the Bengals for the 10th overall pick when he was unhappy. He's coming off the worst year of his career. He was called out as being fat, and a public trade request. I mean, all of those things seem to indicate to me that maybe you could get first-round value. Maybe that's literally a late first-round pick or a combination of picks that could equate to a first round. But I didn't think we talked about this exact trade on the MC Show digital channel, which, by the way, folks, make sure you guys go over and subscribe. We're getting closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers. That's a Man Show with Boy Green Digital. It's a show I do with Jim Lurch. That's live every Monday and Wednesday. We'll be doing a Jets-Giants 4-round mock draft tomorrow on the show. So check that out at 11 o'clock. That'll be live on the program. But I cannot believe the desperate Bengal cats. There's another word I'd like to use instead of cats, but there's children listening to the show, so I won't. So I just can't believe you guys got the 10th overall pick. What an absolute steal. And it puts the Giants in this primo position to maybe it's Johnny Boy's point. Maybe get 2 superstar defenders that are franchise altering. Maybe it's a defender and a wide receiver, which will answer the other part of your super chat here, Manchild, in a second. Maybe it is all those things, but I just think it's great news for the Giants. What a haul. You should be absolutely thrilled. Now, to your point, will the Giants select a wide receiver at 5 or 10? Me and Snowball seem pretty reserved to the fact that I think 100% they're taking a wide receiver at 5 or 10. And to me, they may be bullied into taking it at 5 because I think that's where the wide receiver run starts to me, is that you have the Giants at 5, you have the Browns at 6, you have the Commanders at 7, you have the Chiefs at 9. And quite frankly, even the Saints at 8, I could see them taking a wide receiver. So really, from 5 on, a million receivers could go. So if you're the Giants, now you got to start playing the game. You have picks 5 and 10. Back in the day, a couple of years ago, you had 5 and 7, and all you had to risk is one team in between. What do we think all their needs are? Who's the player we could take now that we could also get the other player we want at 7, and we know the team in between won't do it unless they trade out, which if that happens, there's nothing you can do. It's a lot harder 5 to 10. There's more teams in between. All kinds of crazy crap can happen, so it's quite the challenge here for the Giants. To me, I think a wide receiver is 100% happening at 5 or 10. I think the pressure right now is to potentially take it at 5 to guarantee you get your guy, whoever that is, and say, you know what? We love a lot of the defenders. We'll take whoever's there. Is it Sonny Styles? Is it Caleb Downs? Is it a pass rusher? Like one of the guys going to be there, and we'll see at 10 and figure it out. Or maybe they could trade up from 10 and go secure it in that way. So, yes, Giant fans in the audience, and I know we have fans of all kinds of teams, so it's pretty funny. You know, when I see subscribers, we have Dolphins fans and Jet fans and Bills fans. It's crazy. Cowboys fans. So I have all kinds of subscribers on this channel, which, hey, I don't discriminate. Hey, any fan is a fan to me. So appreciate that. But yeah, I think they're definitely going wide receiver. The normal scenario is wide receiver at 10, but I think over the next couple days here, they may be influenced to take it at 5 and just make sure they get their guy. I've heard whispers of Tennessee doing it. I don't buy that. Me and Johnny, if that happens, I'm going to grab my jaw off the floor if Titans take a wide receiver. I just don't see that happening. So yeah, I think it happens at 10 at bare minimum, but I could definitely see it at 5. We'll go to you, Johnny Boy. Have you been influenced? We've been doing this show for an hour and 10 minutes. You said you thought they were going double dip defense. Do you think the Giants are going wide receiver at 5 or 10?
No, I still think they're going to get the dude. The only person that's been talked about that's generational. It's been Downs, and the other one that's been tottering, depending on who you talk to, is Sonny Styles. And at 5 and 10, they're there, and you could potentially do it. Why not? Because my understanding with the Giants is they've had meetings with Chris Brazel. They've had meetings with Casey Concepcion that they have the 37th pick where they could get these guys there, and it'll be from Malik Neighbors. I believe, didn't they add some other wide receivers?
Yeah, a couple of veterans, Calvin Austin III and Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, so...
But I will say this. I don't know how many of you guys know who this is, but Brandon London is a former Giants wide receiver. He was a Super Bowl champion. He was on the bottom end of that roster, and now he's an analyst and does stuff for the New York Post. I brought up what you just said, Johnny Boy, to him when we did an interview with him last week. And I said, oh, wow, the Giants have added some receivers. Does that give you guys some flexibility? Like, you don't have to take a receiver at the top of the draft. Like, Darnell Mooney's a capable guy. You're not going to mistake him for Malik Neighbors, but he's capable. Calvin Austin III isn't as proven as Darnell Mooney, but he seems like a capable, random wide receiver. And Brandon London went, absolutely not. Those are random bodies, with all due respect. And I was like, okay. So he totally disregarded those guys. I thought for sure he was going to give them some level of credence. So I was surprised how much he just sort of passed them aside. So that surprised me.
The one that I think that could be the offensive player, dude, they might get love, bro, because of the whole Saquon Barkley situation and all of that stuff.
I respect you, though. 10 toes down. Hey, I don't give a shit what you and Snowball have said over sorry, how about the sauce? Damn it.
You said ish.
Oh, yeah, I did say ish. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely said ish. But you have not been influenced. You're sticking to your guns. I respect that. Unlike Todd McShay, rolls over like a dead skunk who can't, he's a jellyfish out there, not keeping hold of a take, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so you're uninfluenced. That's okay. Good. So there you go, Giants boy. Maybe you get your wide receiver at 37 or wherever the hell you are. All right, Snowball. Yeah. Have you been influenced by whatever has occurred here over the last hour and 10 minutes that has changed your mind?
We agreed in the beginning, right? That the Giants are in on wide receiver. So I still think they're going offense. Number 5,
Yeah.
We'll probably start the avalanche now at wide receiver. To me,
Seems
the
like
thing
it.
is that at 10, you know, I know that Lou B is in the chat.
Oh, is
And
he? Oh,
do
great.
they use the 10 pick?
Okay.
And are the Cardinals willing to part with 3? You know,
Could
and
you imagine? Oh my God.
right? Could they jump up and get the 3rd and 5th pick and get Love and a wide receiver? Like that would be pretty crazy, right?
It's the reason why I keep saying Love. And dude, AZ scares me being there. Like,
Oh yeah, because they're trading out, dude. We're gonna be there. Can you imagine the right Jets make their pick and we're reacting to it? Oh my God, they picked Darnell Reese, woohoo! And then Arizona, they are no longer on the clock, and we're standing there like, wait, what? Yeah, what just happened? The Giants are on the clock, and I'm like, oh, they moved up from 5, right? They moved up from 5. No, they've moved up from 10. They still have 5. Wait, what? Like, oh my God, the craziness that's gonna occur.
We better hold Lou B, man. Like we need to be right next to him, okay, just in case, because he is going to go ape crap if the Giants get Love, dude. So will I, bro, because I'm on the same boat, dude. I cannot stand the Giants, man. Like they're there with the Patriots, the Dolphins for me as well. So yeah, I hope they mess it up. I hope the Giants mess it up and ended up getting like, you know, a whole like Thibodeau all over again, and the other dude that they ended up picking that year, and this is where we're at, you know. So, they're like, hey, we're gonna get Ty Simpson at 5 because we believe in him so much, and we don't know what we have in Jackson Dart. Could you imagine, like the crap that would have come out? But yeah, dude, that's scary. Snowball, because it's a possibility,
right?
All right, so let's do this again. I just want to give one more shout out to MC Show Digital. They have 865 subscribers on their channel. They're trying to get to 1,000. I just dropped the link directly here on YouTube. We have 500 people watching the show right now. 130 of those are currently on YouTube. Jump on over. We're going to be doing, again, it's going to be a 4 or 5 round Giants Jets mock draft on the channel live tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Thank you to MC Show Digital for sending in this super chat. Let's see if we could get them a surge of subscribers, try to push over the 1,000 subscriber bandwagon, baby. Let's friggin' go. It should be awesome. And yes, NC Green will make sure that we have the camera ready on Lou B if the Jets pick Love. I will do this. Like I said, because I've never been to a draft, so I have no idea what the hell's going on. But where we should be and seeing Goodell walk up, I will try to have my phone ready. Oh my God, here we go. And just camera on my face, and Lou B, I imagine, will be right next to me. And like, I would try to record my reaction to everything. If the Jets trade, do a quick video like, oh my God, they just traded. I don't know what that means, but okay. I will try to keep you guys updated with a bunch of YouTube shorts will be the place to be, but I'll also try to put it out on all my social medias. We have another super chat to get to. EZ, your mama's favorite color.
Wow.
Shout out to EZ, $5 super chat coming in here. Appreciate that. We've added that to your raffle ticket totals. He says, you take Vega because there's limited depth on the O-line in this year's draft. There are more available in linebackers, wide receivers later on. We actually talked about this on the show yesterday with Hop on Pop. There's been some rumors that, you know, all these guards that we've assumed are going to be there at 33, and we'll get your guys' thoughts on it. Chase Basantis, Emmanuel Pregnon, Keelan Rutledge, and then Vega is the obvious one who's clearly going the first round. The other 3, you know, we didn't think they were going in the first round, but there's been some recent mocks that all 3 of those individuals I just said, Pregnon, Basantis, and Rutledge, have gone in the first round. And now all of a sudden it makes me go, wait a second, is it 16 or bust for the Jets at guard? Like if that's it? Because I know a lot of people hate the talk of offensive linemen with any of their first 44 picks, let alone, you know, taking it at 16. So to EZ's point, there's some recent pressure that says, hey, Jets, if you don't take that offensive lineman, you may miss out. You get to 33 or 44, and it's not there because the next interior offensive lineman, I'm not counting centers, so I should just say guard then. Beyond those top 4 of no particular order, but Vega, Basantis, Pregnon, and Rutledge. Beyond that 4, the next guy on the consensus big board is outside the top 100. So there's a clear line of delineation at guard. If you don't take one of the top 4, well, buddy, we'll see you in the 4th round because nothing else is happening. Do you guys feel any pressure? We'll go around the horn real quick to take a guard with one of the first 44 picks. Do you feel a pressure to do that? Johnny Boy, we'll start with you.
If Emmanuel Pregnant drops and he's there at 33, I would run the card up there. I believe
Wow,
in
okay.
building in the trenches,
Okay.
and I would love to have that guy. Do I think that, it's limited? No, there's a lot of them that are there,
Okay.
and it's just not, not many people are talking about, I mean, what's the kid from Fano, right?
Yeah, from
Spencer
Utah.
Fano. Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's
He
another
could go
guy.
6 overall.
Yeah, the dude from Alabama.
Caden Proctor.
Yep. So you were talking about him.
So do you? You've said it a few times here. Like Vega, you'd run the card up. Pregnant, you'd run the card up. So you want the Jets? If you had your ideal draft, you'd want them taking a guard somewhere within those first 44 picks. Yes.
Yeah. If it was me, okay,
That's what I
this is
said.
me.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And again, do I think that this is going to happen? No.
What's
but my heart wants offense. Okay, I want offense. I've been wanting offense. I would not be pissed off if they went ahead and they got Tate at 2, or if they ended up getting Love, whatever.
Sure.
I would be happy at that. But then at the 16th pick, I would want them to pick a guard, and I would want them to. If Vega is there, get Vega.
And we'll see. He may not be. I've seen a lot of people saying Raven. That's what I've heard, that it's a foregone conclusion. If he's on the board, he's going to be a Baltimore Raven. We'll see if that's indeed the truth. All right, I want to go to you, Snowball. Do you feel an inherent pressure as a Jets fan that you want a guard with one of the first 44 picks? Or if it doesn't happen, you're totally cool?
No. How many teams go back-to-back seasons with the 5 starting offensive linemen playing all 17 and then all 17? And you have an advanced age quarterback in Geno Smith who doesn't have the wheels that he used to have. So, you want that insurance. And if you're banking on Max Mitchell to step in, or do we still have Xavier Newman?
We do. We re-signed him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is he still there? And who's the guy from the Patriots?
Chuck Wuma Okorafor. He was re-signed.
He's still with us. He's still with us.
He was brought back. Yep.
So if you're putting your bets on any one of those 3 guys to step in and protect Geno Smith in a pinch, and then do the old offensive line shuffle that we were so used to 2 years ago, my bet's a no. So do I feel as though that there's an inherent need at offensive line in the first 44 picks? Yeah, I do. I think there is. Right. So I'm gonna hedge my bets, and I'm gonna say yes. Because the other ones haven't shown us anything yet, and to have depth is good. So yes.
So, I will be a little bit of the black sheep here. I'm not saying I don't want it. I'm not going to get pissed if we take Vega. Again, as I just mentioned earlier, it depends on how the board falls. I'm open to Vega at 16, depending on whatever the hell else happened. But I don't feel like, oh, boy, if we don't walk away from the first 44 picks with a guard, oh, boy. I'm okay if we don't. But I'm also okay if we do. So we'll see what happens. But thank you, Easy, for the super chat. Again, we'll see what's the real buzz, right? Because if you have been paying attention to this entire draft cycle, the draft analysts say there are 55 people that are going to be in the first round. My sources tell me that's not, in fact, going to be the case, that only 32 players will be taken in the first round. So, oh, no, there's going to be a run. 4 guards are going to the first, and 75 quarterbacks, and 84 this. And you start going, beep, boop, 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 boop. That math doesn't math. So somebody's going to be wrong. Someone's not going to go in the first, and thus the Jets, who currently have the first pick of the second round, they're going to get some benefit. Someone's going to fall that wasn't supposed to fall. There's going to be a surprise. That happens every year. I'm looking forward to that process. All right, let's do this. Johnny Boy, I know you wanted to get to this, so let me try to work this in here. I'll just sort of hand the keys to the car over to you. You wanted to talk about something with the Jets Stadium?
Yeah, so
please.
All right, everybody that's a Jets fan has always and continues and is still wanting for the Jets to have their own stadium.
Okay.
Now, with the World coming up, okay, the World Cup is coming. The World Cup is about to be here. It's in June. Cannot wait. MetLife Stadium is now not called MetLife Stadium. It's called
JetLife.
New York, New Jersey Stadium. And I'm like, if this is not the perfect opportunity for us to talk a little bit about what it would mean for the New York Jets to have their own stadium, Snowball has a great place where they could build a stadium, where they could have great parking. The access is there through train. But I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that. Did you guys see that? What was your initial thoughts when you saw that? Did you instantly think like, shit, man, I wish the damn Jets had their own stadium. Like, bring it back to New York.
Snowball?
I've always wanted the Jets to have their own stadium because they've never had their own stadium. They share it with the Mets. They share with the Giants. The people in New Jersey were pissed off because it was called New York, New Jersey Stadium. They're like, wait, it's in New Jersey, and you're calling it New York, New Jersey Stadium? What the hell is that? Have you seen what they've done with the price of like the tickets in New Jersey Transit for the trains?
$100.
$100 for a ticket to get on a damn train. All I can think about is the owners of the stadium, our beloveds, sitting there and rolling in mountains of cash and just sitting there going, why would we ever leave? Like, this place is just a money pit. It's just, concerts and this crap and the World Cup. And if you've gone to the American Dream Mall, if you look at, every shop, I don't care if they're selling pretzels, they have something World Cup next to it or, with it. So they're just the outpouring of money for these people who own the stadium. For me, there's no reason. Again, I will make the plea that we should be in New York, not New Jersey, but the pickings are just so good for these people. It's like, it's ridiculous. Come to Long Island. I have the ultimate place, accessible by Long Island Railroad, bus, the Saginaw Coast Parkway, and the Long Island Expressway. It's sitting right in the middle of everything. And bring us out. I will show you the spot. Like I said, Johnny, we're going to make a video where we're going to show this space.
So I will say this on this. I feel so. I've been not to give my entire life story in a book as quickly as possible, but I've moved all over the place. So some Jet fans are Jet fans because they live in, New Jersey, New York, which will offend both sides of the camp, that have lived in that area, and their dad was a season ticket holder. They're a Jet fan. Bing, boom, bam, they're a Jets fan. That's not how my life worked. I was in a military family, so I moved all over the place. So I was never in one place too long. And so I don't have the same attachment to like the stadium problems or good or bad or indifferent. Like if I live there, I feel like I'd be right in the trench with you guys. Like when you guys are explaining this Long Island possibility, like it sounds super interesting, but to me, like, Long Island, Brooklyn, the Bronx, this borough, that borough, like that's like, whoop, I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. I have no idea. So to me, do I want our own stadium? Of course. The little brother, big brother bull crap with the Giants, that whole thing, like all of that. I would love for us to have our own home. That there's like, it feels a little, let me make sure I use the proper politically correct terms. It feels a little gimmicky that like, and I've seen them transition this sometimes. So like if there's a Jets game at 1:00 and a Giants game on Monday Night Football, the Jets game's over and I see them flipping the signs. Like there's a Jet sign and just like press button, Giants. I'm like, wow. It just sucks that I know that's underneath the surface. Like it's not ours. Like we're sharing it. And I'm sure for the billionaires and all that, they're like, sweet, we save a bunch of money. But like to me, I'm like, I want our own home. I want our stadium to have our own thing. So again, I am somewhat detached from some of the, if I live there and I'd be thinking of it and I'm like, oh man, I've lived here forever. This place is great or this place is great. But I think I agree with the overall basis, which, and I'm with you guys that I want us to have our own stadium. Is it possible? I don't know about these opt-outs this, opt-outs that. I've heard that explained to me 1,000 times, but I don't fully get it of like, is this legitimately possible? But that is a world that I certainly want to pursue. So, hey, all right. We'll see if we could certainly get to that range. Another thing we have to get to before the callers, and I know we want to get to the callers, but Snowball, in the middle of a Jet show that we've done together, we do this takeover every single weekend. It's been a lot of fun. I love working with you guys. I hope you guys feel the same way. And a spontaneous segment has burst out of nowhere that you brought up when I said I would do anything for a Super Bowl. And Snowball asked the very important question, anything? And then that led to this new bit. So Snowball, I'll throw you the keys. Take it over from here.
So it's would you for a Jet Super Bowl? So we're going to basically state it that way.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to propose either a question or a scenario to both Johnny Boy and Paul, and we'll see what their answer is. At stake is a Jets Super Bowl, and I'm going to add the caveat that it's the only Jets Super Bowl that you'll ever see. Okay, there are not multiple Super Bowls, down the road. There's one, and this is the only one that you can absolutely like have in your hands.
And to explain to the fans, whatever this scenario is, it's like, would you be willing to do, or whatever the scenario is? So we'll get into the details. What would you be willing to do? Whatever is about to happen for that one lone Jet Super Bowl, or not? Like, so we're trying to find that line basically of what you be willing.
So
to do.
what will you do? What are you going to sacrifice? So I have, and again, I don't. This is not going to go dark, right? It's going to go like lighthearted, funny. So we'll try at least.
Okay.
So we all have kids, and some of us,
and we each have one of these, by the way. So I have a scenario. Snowball has a scenario. Johnny Boy has a scenario that we're each going to pitch to each other. So go ahead, Snowball. You're first.
So I have a daughter. Johnny has a daughter. You have a daughter.
I do.
And would you, for a Jets Super Bowl, would you not later on down the road? Okay, again, not dirty, not dark. Okay, they're going to get married. Okay, at some point. Would you not go to the wedding for a Jets Super Bowl?
Oh, dude.
You could get it on video. I wouldn't go.
You can't go. You're not going to be in the
But I can watch the video, right? Later?
You can watch it later, but you can't go. And you're telling your daughter, I'm not going because
I have to tell her.
Jets Super Bowl.
Oh, for the reason too? Oh, geez.
Yes, you have to tell them I'm not going to the Jets Super Bowl.
She would understand. I'm not going.
Okay, she would understand.
I got multiple kids.
Okay. Johnny Boy?
Yeah. Come on.
My daughter is a Jets fan, okay? And
Riley,
she would never, if the Jets are going to she is postponing that wedding. All right. She does not care.
Yeah, that's not an option. That's not an option. You can't curve your way out of this scenario. The thing is happening, and you must tell her that, hey, sorry, whatever your nickname is for your daughter, like, sorry, blank, but it's just not going to happen. The Super Bowl. You have to tell her, would you do it or would you not, Johnny Boy?
Fuck. This is
come on. We got the sauce. Like, watch your mouth. Good Lord. Potty mouth. Yeah, we were late on the sensor.
All right. So Riley's watching, okay? Because
she is. So great.
She has it downstairs,
hey, Riley.
I'm sorry, baby, but I am not missing the Jets Super Bowl, okay? It is. Look, hey, at least she's alive, okay? Because this could have went dark. It could have went really bad.
I don't know. I'm afraid now of what yours is going to be, but we'll unpack that in a minute, I guess. But Jesus.
Jets, Jets.
Okay, so me and Johnny Boy would be willing to do it.
I have two daughters, so I'm good.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's true. Yeah. There you go. I only have one, so take that for what you will. All right, Snowball, would you do it for your own?
Johnny Boy, you're going to have one against the other. Be like, Dad didn't go to my wedding.
Oh, that's true. Oh,
but he went to yours. So, anyway.
You're right. Real quick, Johnny Boy, you see it as a positive. Like, I got two. Who cares? But like, I agree. In my situation, I'm good. I got a boy and a girl. If I don't go to the girl, like, sure, that's bad. But it's not like the other girl is getting me to go. So like, it's a 1-1. Like, she'll just eternally hate me. But there won't be like a jealous impact. Yours is a problem. Snowball's right. You go to one daughter's, but not the other. Now you get some not favorite action. Yeah, this is terrible for you. You're a terrible father. Wow.
I mean, hey, maybe they don't make the other one like try to step it up even more to get into.
Okay. Captain Condor says y'all bugging. You have to go to the wedding, you freaks. Like, there you go.
Snowball.
Can you put me full screen?
Oh, of course, yes.
Okay. Daughter, Daddy loves you, and he loves you very much.
But
if the Jets are going to have a Super Bowl, he's definitely going to your wedding, though. There is no way that I would miss my daughter's wedding. So yeah, I'm going to the wedding. I have to live.
That Jets hat off, man. Take that shirt off too.
And by the way, this is great because these are scenarios. So you just earned yourself a bunch of brownie points for your big lie, Snowball. Clearly, you would
Fight me.
ditch your daughter for this. Okay, well, it's interesting that we didn't tell each other whatever these scenarios are going to be. We just come on air and just drop them. So, I went a different direction. But, let's just put it here. Okay. Here's the scenario. Okay. All the things that Snowball said. You can go to this one Super Bowl, you can go. However, you would have to do this thing that I'm about to present. And we'll go piece by piece. Would you get into an octagon with Mike Tyson for 5 rounds, 25 minutes, where your hands were tied behind your back and he could do whatever he wanted for 5 minutes and 25 rounds? Biting ears, anything, there's no rules. And if that happens, your body, if there's anything left, would be allowed to watch the Jets in the Super Bowl. Would you do it? We'll start off with you, Snowball.
Just gonna bite off body parts, and oh my god, man. Is he the age he is now, or is he in his prime?
He is in his prime.
He's in his prime. Holy crap. I'm gonna die. I won't even be able to see the Super Bowl. I would completely die. Am I going to go into the octagon with him? And man, I would
5 rounds, 25 minutes, championship rounds in MMA.
Minutes. You know what? Hell yeah, I'm going in. I'm going in. I'm having my hands tied behind my back. And you know what? If they wheel me in on a gurney, and I can basically like see out of half an eye, and actually comprehend the game to like an inkling, like 10%. Yeah, I'm going. I'm going in.
Sure. All right. Johnny Boy, you're next. Mike Tyson in his prime, 5 rounds, 25 minutes. This is octagon style, so anything goes. Your hands tied behind your back, and Mike Tyson can do whatever he wants. There's no rules.
Yeah. I only fear God. So with that being said,
yeah,
dude, tie me up. Tyson knocked me out in under 30 seconds, then I'm Gucci. So that dude was knocking guys out in like less than 30 seconds.
Even if you're passed out on the ground, he can still go for 5 rounds.
Yes, if you're passed out on the ground, then he could transition to ground and pound action, where you can just start pummeling the bleep out of you. If you're
I'm knocked out. It is what it is. It's not like he's gonna wake me up when you get knocked out. So I'll just wake up to a whole bunch of pain, probably be in the hospital, and I'll be like, pump some of that whatever painkillers in me. Keep going.
Yeah. The ref that's in the ring is somewhat not trigger happy. So he's not sure. He's sort of hovering like, should I jump in there? Should I stop it? I'm not sure. And he never will. So that's another part of the piece of the action. So you both would be willing to do it. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Guys, this is we need to all have lines eventually. We're going to find them as we keep doing this segment, I guess, of what we're willing to do, what we're not willing to do. But I got a high tolerance for pain. Bring it on, Mike Tyson. And every time he hits me, I will say, did someone open a window? I felt a breeze. And, just see if you could sort of like incense the man.
You won't be able to talk.
Yeah, that's probably true. It'll just be a soft whistle. So yeah, there you go. Hell yeah. I told you guys, and you're going to try to push this. I am willing to do whatever it takes to see my Jets team, my favorite team of all time, win a Super Bowl. And we will see if that indeed continues to be the case as we push through this. There you go.
Why aren't you moving? Why are you on the ground?
Dad, what's going on? Why are you in a wheelchair? Why is every part of your body in a cast? Well, that's just part of it, baby. That's just part of it. All right. Is there anything else you guys wanted to get to before the dance?
I have one. I got one, man.
Obviously.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I was just pastors, obviously.
Like
yes.
Johnny has a scenario.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Go ahead, Johnny boy.
All right. So you guys, how much do you guys love football?
With every fiber of my being. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For the Jets, 1 Super Bowl win. After that win, you could never talk about NFL football, any kind of football. You can't watch it, do anything. Would you do it?
So does that mean so I watch the Jets win the Super Bowl, And then like I can't ever talk about them winning the Super Bowl ever again.
Ever again. You can't talk about anything to do with football at all. There is no more Boy Green Daily talking about the
Right.
new Jets.
We could talk about other stuff.
So you're gonna have to go to some other kind of sports, but you could never talk about NFL, college, pee-wee, indoor, flag for the rest of your life.
So would I then have to spend time with my family?
Yes.
Boy, it's hard to describe to someone because I don't know what normal is. I only know myself. This is the only life that, as far as I know, that I've ever lived. So I think about football every waking second of the day. Like I've been thinking about the draft when I go to bed at night. I'm like, oh, that'll be fun. Wake up in the morning. Ooh, what's that Jets article I have to read or write for the show? And then again. So it's just every day of everything. So then to just be, well, let me ask you this, a follow-up question to this. Am I getting Men in Black neuralized where I forgot that I've ever loved football, or I know that I love football and I can't talk about it?
Yeah, you can't watch it. You can't talk about it.
But like I'm saying, am I? So I'm me
you
right
still,
now.
You still know what's going on. Yeah, like
just like if you could just Men in Black white me, and I just like all of a sudden, yeah, I've developed an affinity for soil. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, there you go, nothing wrong with that. But
the gardening show, starring Paul
on Netflix, yeah. Wow, man, guys, this soil, yeah. But the thing is, I could imagine myself like sort of talking about, all right, the soil's coming here, the soil is at the 15, the 10, the 5, and people are like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, sorry, I did nothing. Of course I would do that. Like it's painful. It's very painful because I love football. If the Saskatchewan Roughriders were playing the Cleveland Browns, I'd watch it because I just love the NFL. So I'm so committed to the NFL, but to no longer have it. But like the thing is, it's almost like what's that from? Was that Captain America? Is that the old guy gif when he's like, no, I don't think I will. Like, I don't know where that gif is from, but I feel like that's a Captain America guy. Like, if the Jets won the Super Bowl, I would just know, even if I didn't say it, and I'd be like the guy from Breaking Bad with a little bell dinger, and like I can't speak. I would just be all day with a smile. I'd just be like, even if I was paralyzed, everything, I'd just be like, because I just know in my head, the Jets won the Super Bowl. Like, Johnny, you can't stop my thoughts in my mind. I'm going to replay it over and over again in my head, and I'll just be happy forever until I kick the bucket. So hell yeah, I'm in. Yes.
I'm not doing it for Jets Super Bowl. Okay. So here's the way I rationalize it.
Okay.
I've been doing it my entire life. Okay. And I would lose you, Johnny boy. I would lose you, Paul, as a person to talk to about this miserable effing team. So I'm going with the trend of doing this. We could talk about the Jets, and they provide us endless hours of entertainment every week, every day, 365 days a year. It's a part of my soul, essence, and being. So I'm not doing it. They can keep the damn Super Bowl. You guys and the people in the chat are more important. Again, brownie points.
Hey, not only brownie points, but actually the more you say that, the more it sort of hits. Because Tank for Ty said this. It's not the destination, it's the journey, fellas. Mm-hmm. At our Taekwondo dojang, the dojang has moved a couple of times to different buildings for whatever reasons. And at the original dojang, I lived at the top of a hill when we first moved here in 2008. And if you walk down the hill, there's a martial arts dojang right there. And that's how I fell in love and got into it. And they had a refrigerator in the dojang, and it had magnets on it with quotes. And one of them said, success is not the destination, it's the journey. And I always read that and just thought about it and then grabbed the water bottle out of the fridge. And like, to your point, like Boy Green Daily, like imagine we ever do win the Super Bowl, and like from the show of the offseason before we win it to everything that happens from A to Z, going all the way through it. And then us remembering all those moments, the calls, the frustration, because like, only the 1972 Dolphins have ever gone undefeated throughout the entire thing. So there's going to be low points and high points when we win games, lose games, and we're in the playoffs, and it's on the edge and we win. And then to actually do it, that journey of that that we'd have forever and we'd all know for the people who called in and interacted. Like, man, that one really gets me. And here's the other thing, like, because Nanga Iboko, I see he has, or Nanga Iboko, I see he has a super chat in here, but I want to highlight one of his other comments. This is the one that I think would get me. And we've only played this game like once officially, but he says, how about the deal Peter Parker made in No Way Home? You see the Jets win a Super Bowl that no one remembers. And I'm like, yeah, we won the Super Bowl. You're like, and then every other fan in the world is like, you're an idiot. No, they didn't. I'm like, I know they did. They're taking me away in a straitjacket. And I couldn't talk about it because, like, if they win the Super Bowl, like, don't get me wrong. They talk about, I've heard, I think I brought this up before. I have a buddy who does a Rams podcast. It's called the Rams Showcase, and he does the Rams podcast. And sure, they've won a Super Bowl very recently that I'm about to talk about, but before the Greatest Show on Turf. Like, so it just happened within relative modern times. And we've started a podcast place that we've been doing for like 10, 12 years or something. And we talked about wanting to go to the Super Bowl, our teams. That's a dream of every team. And his Rams just won the Super Bowl. They beat the Bengals in that Super Bowl recently and won it. While I knew him, he won the Super Bowl. And he had a bit of what Aaron Rodgers talked about being an ego death. Like, okay, we did the thing that we wanted to do. Now what? What do I do with this show? What do I do? I've always talked about winning the Super Bowl. Now we won one. Now what? And he struggled. And I'm being dead serious. Like, he struggled to, like, what's the purpose of the show anymore? And he had to, like, sort of reinvent himself and do all this other stuff. So, like, if the Jets won the Super Bowl, like, what do you do now? But, like, while that sounds like a very pressing question, I just want to win that Super Bowl, and I'll let you know the first world problem of whatever on, like, what the show is next. So to win the Super Bowl, but no one knows, I would be talking about it forever. I'd get a tattoo for the Jets Super Bowl. I would do everything with the Jets Super Bowl. But this would be painful. I'd be talking to people like, this crazy old kook down here, a hobo in the trade station. The Jets win the Super Bowl in 2028, man. It was great. Like, get away from me, you crazy bastard. I don't have any loose change. Get out of here. Like, I just, like, that would be a difficult road to hoe if no one knew. I'd go crazy. I'd go crazy.
BG Snowball. I did want to say this too, and if that's cool with you, BG.
What?
With this segment, right?
Yeah.
I thought it would be cool to get the chat to kind of be interactive with it.
Of course.
That they give us, I would say probably like a super chat, and then the super chat would essentially be the one that we want to hear
your guys'
scenario.
Okay.
That they would give to us as well. So just letting people know. But
okay, I see one of those in there, by the way. So let's do this. I see Nanga Iboko sends in this super chat, and maybe it's not the scenario. He's just saying, would that be the case? But let's throw it in.
Wow.
$5 super chat. Nanga Iboko says, if the Jets win a Super Bowl, do you think you would just be an asshole fan for a year? Because, like, the defending champs, the champs are here, the champs are here. Like, would that be happening? And I want the entire world to know this. Yeah, camera people, bring me full screen. Okay, bring me full screen. Red eye camera right here. I'm going to be the most obnoxious New York Jet. If you thought you knew obnoxious Jet fans, every show I'm starting with the reigning, defending, the conqueror. Oh, I'd have the greatest intro for myself of all time. When the Jets win a Super Bowl, I will be nauseating. I'm going to lose subscribers. I'm going to be toxic. And I am going to be in your face, people out there in the audience, when the Jets win the Super Bowl. And I'm going to have championship belts back here. I'm going to have a replica Lombardi trophy, like with some like light shining on it or something, so you can't possibly miss it. I will be an a-hole fan for a year and probably the rest of my life, because no matter what, in 2 years from now, I'm like, yeah, we won the Super Bowl in 2026. Not sure if you know. Yep, as the ultimate trump card, everyone gives me crap about it. So yeah, I will be absolutely obnoxious. Let's go around the horn. Johnny Boy, would you be an a-hole fan for a year or longer?
Not only would I be an a-hole,
okay, all right,
I would bring Snowball, I would bring Boy Green, I would bring everybody in the chat. We would go to different YouTubers and their streams, Dolphins, the Patriots, the freaking Bills, the Broncos, and I am going in, okay, to everybody that's ever said any shit. And if it's Aaron Glenn that is the coach. I am talking about that. Okay, I'm going balls to the wall, ape crap, because I'm trying to watch, shout out to
Of course.
I make
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
right?
Sure.
Sunday, right? But yeah, dude, and it's not only going to be for just that year. It's extending. I might even be Bob Lederer and write a book about what's going on. Okay,
congratulations.
And talking about stuff. What were you doing? I was on a Dolphins freaking YouTube with everybody just talking smack, and that's the bottom line. Because what? That's it. I'm not going to finish it.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'll let the audience interpret that. All right, Snowball. Would you be an A-hole fan for a year or beyond?
I would be an A+ hole for
Oh,
multiple years.
Yeah.
Because you never know when you're gonna have one again. So yeah, I would totally give hell to anyone who spoke to me. Yeah, just be an A-hole. Yeah, for probably the rest of my life. Just why not?
But again, like I said, I'm not trying to denigrate my Rams friend problems with his ego death or winning the Super Bowl. Now, what does the podcast mean or anything? To me, I think there would just be celebration and jubilation for a big period of time if we won. There'd be emotions. People would be crying and sharing stories of whether they were actually there or all kinds of stuff. And then eventually, I think it is, while I'll forever have that championship in my mind, like, hey, let's run it back. Let's go back belly to belly. Let's win it. Let's go.
Can you imagine this? Right. So all right. So the Jets win the Super Bowl, right? And now you have like the live stream, right? After the game, you immediately hop on. You're like, the Jets won the Super Bowl, blah, 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 right? Okay. The next day, right? Yeah. It's morphin time and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And like, my superpower is calling the defense, right? And then you just sit there and you go, what the hell am I going to talk about? Like,
that would be so you said this would happen?
Oh my gosh, it's morphin time.
Yeah. And then like first words out of your mouth are like, I actually did it.
It would be. I'm sure it would be. There'd be a disbelief. I'm the most optimistic Jets fan of all time, but like for it to actually happen, because every year I told Judy Batista laughed when I told her that. I said, I'm the Jets fan that thinks every year we're in the Super Bowl. She went, it's like, okay, I don't think I needed that kind of response, but yes. And for it, yeah, there would be like if a movie camera's on me, like, oh my God, it happened. It happened.
Who's the first person you're calling? And chat, same thing. Who's the first person you guys are calling? Who's the first person you're calling to talk shit though? Not like to say.
I thought you were talking about an emotional thing.
Yeah.
That was funny. That's a video in my head where like, who would you call? Because it would be if I'll start there, then we could go with your negative, terrible place. But I would say the first person I would call, if I could call anyone dead or alive, it would be my grandfather, because he allowed me to be a Jets fan. He called me the Jet, and I'm like, hey, Grandpa, what's the Jet? He's like, let me show you, Sonny. And he was a Giants fan, so I still don't know why he sent me down this path. But I wouldn't be on with you guys right now if I wasn't. So that would be the call I'd make. And I'd basically, Grandpa, we did it. But because that's not of what you said whatsoever, so throw that emotional ship off the wreck. And who would I do to talk shit? Oh, it's definitely. There's so many people now that I'm thinking about it.
You're calling your dad, bro. Remember, Dad, that you said that we were gonna suck this year?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? We got a ring.
Yeah, that's true. Like I could, because your Cowboys haven't won the Super Bowl since the '90s, so I could really rub it in. To be honest, he's not the first person I thought of. We have like, and this person's probably going to take great pride that they have this much rent space in my head. But there's a Buffalo Bills fan that tweets at the show all the time. They watch the show. I know this person in real life, and his I think name on Twitter is Danny in real life. He's a Bills fan, and he talks so much shit. Like he doesn't know this, but every once in a while I have him muted on Twitter, so like I don't even hear what he's saying. He's just screaming into the void, and I think that's better. Like for people, here's some advice to people out there, right? You have two choices. You can mute someone or block someone. If you block someone, they know they're blocked. They go to your Twitter, it says you are blocked. And I don't want that. I want them to think that I can hear it, but I can't. So I love muting people. I'm sort of a sicko. They're duct taped in my closet, and I'm holding them hostage. And they're like, and I'm like, oh, well, did someone say something? Oh, no? Okay, great. I'm just living my life over here. So he is probably one of the first people I talk to because his stupid Bills have lost 4 Super Bowls. And for us to win one, like, oh, yeah, another one because we already have one. And he doesn't have any. That would be a good one. Although Dolphins fans are super annoying. They haven't won a playoff game in 25 years. I can't even imagine what kind of fan base we'd be if we haven't won a playoff game in like 25 years. Sure, we haven't gotten to the playoffs in 15. But, like, we've still won more. We won 6 playoff games since they've won 1. Like, I'm feeling great. So a Dolphins fan would be great. And then the Patriots. Oh, so much. Like, we get – talk about big brother, little brother thing with this Jets-Giants stuff. We get so much, like – the Jets are so beneath the Patriots. I hate that elitist BS stuff. So every time we beat the Patriots, which hasn't happened a lot, unfortunately, in my life, oh, those are the ones where I'm like, hey, buddy, I can't because we got the sauce and beautiful children in our audience. But hey, buddy, you could suck my. So yeah, for sure, yeah. But I appreciate that. Thank you,
dude. I know exactly. Lou B, if you're watching, and you're gonna appreciate this one, I would call my entire family in a group call because most of all my entire family are Giant fans. Okay.
All right.
So I would, dude, and I would be so obnoxious on the phone. Okay. So yeah. So shout out to my cousin Drew. Shout out to my cousin Eddie.
Beautiful.
All right. Hey, you guys are getting a phone call. All right.
Yeah.
Like it is happening. And to my 2 uncles, all right.
Okay.
They know who they are, Giant fans as well. Dude, they give me, so we were talking last night.
Okay.
So I heard you dumbasses are going to get Ty Simpson at 2. And I'm like, I'm not responding.
Okay. Oh, good for you that you didn't respond. I would totally respond. I would be like, I'd be saying all kinds of crap. But okay. All right, boys, you ready for the phone calls?
I would just walk next door.
Huh?
I would just walk next door.
Oh,
Like
yeah. Oh, yeah. Who's your person? Yeah, I keep doing this. I keep
my
screwing it up.
neighbor's a Giants fan, and they put a giant flag out every season. The giant flag is out. I wouldn't even place a phone call. I'd walk up the stairs and just be like, knock on the door, like, hey, can you tell me who won the Super Bowl, please? Hello?
Ooh. Or you could just like take a piss on their door or something.
Nah, I'm not about pissing on people's property, but
you see that flag that you got behind there?
Yeah.
I would go to that. I would go to that
replace
house,
the flag.
replace the flag with that.
That'd
one,
be great,
right?
Yeah, okay,
and then just park your car in the front, have your big cigar,
but I would,
right? And just
I would
be
do
there
it all times of the day, like 1 in the morning, just knock on the door. Just repeatedly.
You're sick. You were sick, buddy. But I like it. All right, great. So, okay, this segment has blown up into something else entirely. All right, we've never gone this long without going to the fans. So we will go to the fans for a slice of time, and then I'll take my family out to the diner before I don't even have the chance to play this game anymore. We'll be back after this.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, everybody. Paul Esson Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. That's Snowball. That's Johnny Boy. And this is a Jets Worldwide takeover on the Boy Green Daily Channel, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. I'm days away from seeing that man down there, Johnny Boy. I just booked another hotel room, so I will be there from Wednesday to Saturday. Hotels here, and then with Johnny Boy in the middle, a nice little sandwich, which is going to be great. And look at that, never give up. That's the spirit. WrestleMania weekend is upon us. And before we go to the phone lines, I just have to say, yesterday's dipping into the phone lines on Boy Green Daily was quite an experience and a half. So who knows where this show could possibly go. If anyone is waiting, and I see there are, let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 callers. You beautiful 6 callers. I want to get to you as quickly and efficiently as possible. I see you. Okay. I see you. I love you. I appreciate that you've decided to call into the show 2 hours in. Maybe you've been watching the whole 2 hours. Maybe you just tuned in. I don't hate any of you. I love you all equally, beautifully. Okay, so we're going to efficiently try to get through all these callers, and I promise I'm just going to go bing, bang, bam, right through the callers. I promise I'm going to go just in order, and I will get to all of you as I can. So with that being said, let's kick it off here with our Quattro box, and we'll start it off with Hep.
Good morning, my good sir.
Hey, guys.
Don't yell at Paul.
All right, so here's my Twilight Zone scenario.
Okay.
The Jets win the greatest Super Bowl in the history of the NFL. The most exciting, and it's great. The only thing is you can never watch the game, you can never listen to the game or hear anything about it.
Oh, shoot. I was going to say a bad word. But I know that they did it. I know they did it. I just couldn't.
You know they did it, but you can't watch it. You can't listen to it. You can't watch highlights of it. Like,
nothing.
Oh, I'm in. I don't care.
Yeah,
okay, well,
I'm
you take
in.
one for the team, you know.
Well, John, good for you that you don't care, but I care because, like, I watch it. Think about because, like, I was just thinking about this the other day, and I don't know why it came up. Maybe it was WrestleMania this weekend, which is like the Super Bowl of wrestling. Is as the John Cena was sort of doing the speech, apparently John Cena is not very popular in the chat. Sorry about that. But he was making the speech about how this like the battle of the immortals, and we're going to remember this forever. And I was thinking of the Super Bowl and and sort of comparing it that these matches in WrestleMania, we're going to remember forever that people say, "Ooh, WrestleMania this, and there's matches they live on forever, whether you win or lose. Super Bowls, like we remember Super Bowls, Super Bowl moments, Super Bowl wins, Super Bowl losses, Bills losing 4 in a row, like, oh wow, how embarrassing. The dynasty of my pops, Cowboys winning 3 or 4 years, like, and we remember the biggest plays,
moments, like one catch,
right? Exactly. The James Harrison pick 6 at the goal line against the Arizona Cardinals for time running out in the half, and that changed the entire Super Bowl. So right, there's millions of plays that come to my head. So I thought about that, and then you're asking this question of like, what were the key like that I would remember for the rest of my life? These like I bring up 2009 AFC Championship moments, 2010 AFC Championship moments, like nothing. They just flow out of me, and that like I couldn't go back and say, because every once in a while when a play or something comes up, I'm like, ooh, let me go watch that play again. The James Harrison pick 6 or Santonio Holmes toe drag top back right corner of the end zone to get it in. Like all those plays went through my head, and every once in a while I want to look them up on the internet, but I couldn't do it.
None of that. It'd be like a ghost. Just you can't reach, you can't touch it. You know it's there, but like, you know, I was like, oh, that'd be.
I would still do it, but I don't think as quickly as Johnny was like, pass the biscuits. Who gives a flying hoop? Like it would be more painful for. I would do it, but like, ooh, that one
after waiting all this time.
Yeah. Oh.
And the first thing I do after I do the initial celebration and hug my family is I get a nice cold Heineken and I pour it out for all the OGs who didn't get a chance
100%.
to see it.
100%.
And that's the first thing I do. And that's all I got. So I don't want to get yelled at. I'll see you later.
Hey, that's okay. Quickly get them out. But no, I feel that same way too, that I strongly believe that in my life, is it next year? Is it the year after? I don't know. The Jets are going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to experience all of this. But to Hep's final point, like when they win it, I hope, and sometimes you don't do this, you're in the moment and there's only things you think about, but I hope I can tell myself right now on April 19, 2026, to that version of Paul that gets to see the Jets win the Super Bowl. I hope we remember all the awesome Jet fans that we lost that either through age or disease or anything, there's a lot of terrible things out there in the universe that have consumed a lot of our amazing Jet fans. I don't want to start naming them or we're going to miss somebody, but there's so many amazing Jet fans in our audience that unfortunately have passed away, and the brutal honesty is could and will pass away before this Jet Super Bowl happens. And I want to think about all those individuals when the Super Bowl happens. I know it's going to happen. I know it. I feel it in every fiber of my being. I don't know when specifically, but I know it will happen. And I hope that I take a moment and just breathe and think about all those Jet fans that are out there that are that were along on this magical journey. So I do hope so. So that's a nice little comment there.
And he thought we were gonna go like straight dark. All right.
Yeah. See, man, that's a good point. All right, let's go to okay. I'm going to bring this caller on, and I'm going to be honest. I have no idea the results of what happened. So I'm about to learn this live right now on the show. I have no clue whatsoever. So let's bring this individual in. I'm about to find out. I go to Kyle Clifton, who is some people's favorite caller in the universe, which offends other people who are then offended by that. But Kyle, what are the results of what happened yesterday? I did not see the final result.
So
all props to Chef Kevin. He won.
Chef, was it close?
Relatively, but he had a comfortable lead.
Wow.
He had a comfortable lead early on. I closed it a little bit, but he was able to pull away.
Okay. Wow. Well, I'm glad that it was a good battle. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, there's really no one you'd rather lose to be frank with you.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. And like I said, it was, I think of all as Maniac Madness so far, I think this was the most challenging for this audience because you guys are both very big parts of this show. So that was the most difficult challenge for sure.
What I really want to talk about this morning is how Snowball set a trap for the both of you and you walked right into it with your daughters.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was great. It was cool.
Yeah.
Kyle, how many kids do you have? What's your situation?
I have two. They're relatively young. I started pretty late.
Okay.
But I have a soon-to-be 11-year-old boy and a 9-year-old girl. So.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So you're further along than me. I got 4 and 1 for a daughter and son combination. So, okay. Oh, yeah. So what you say he led us into a trap, please. Go
yeah, I think that's certainly the case. I mean, like you can't miss your daughter's wedding. Come on, guys.
Right. Yeah.
See, the thing for me is it's this, and like this is the stuff that I was like, I know that for my 2 daughters, there will never be a guy that I'm always gonna feel like is good enough for her, because I think so highly of my daughters. You know what I'm saying? Like and that's just me. Like I want the best for them. I want everything great to happen to them. But hey, look,
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and it's gonna be hard, dude. Like I've had images of the shit that some dude would try to do to my daughters and what I would do to them, right? Like to the extreme of the extremes. Like, and it's crazy to say those stuff like that, you know, but I love them girls so much. So it's like I could just see him looking at her a certain way and I run, dude, like down the aisle and just straight Roman Reigns Superman punch on there and just go all out, you know. And
I'm not missing what, you know, this creature that I created, who I think is beautiful at her most beautiful and joyful. That's just the way I think about it. You know?
So basically the other like if you choose no, like, you know, and if maybe eventually we're going to reach that point as we do this segment moving forward of like, no, we're not going to do this. We're just going to let basically the gods play out. We'll see if they win it a different way, and then I don't do it this way, that they just, you know, when you punt on this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I here's the thing. I don't want to rehash these scenarios because some of them are pretty sick. But you know, I'm not getting in the ring with Tyson.
Okay, all right.
Where I'm defenseless. That's ludicrous. You know, and you know, but for me,
yeah,
for the Jets to get a chance to win one, and for me to walk away from football after that, I could do it because it's been 60 years of futility, 45 for me personally.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of nonsense, so I'm ready.
Yeah, right.
I'm afraid I'm not going to see it. So
really, wow. Okay.
How
old are you, Kyle? I don't want to press if you don't want to share that.
I'm in my mid-50s. So
mid-50s. Okay. And so what's life expectancy in the United States? Like 77? So you still got another 20 years or so.
Yeah. I don't know.
So that was
I've lived pretty hard, BG. I don't know.
Okay, let's call it 10-ish. Like, okay, we've got a decade, Mooch. Like, can we crack this egg?
Kyle, that was one of my scenarios. That
what
you see the Jets Super Bowl, but you cut your life expectancy by 30 years.
Oh Jesus, that's dark.
That's dark.
I mean, it was depending on where you guys. It depends on where you guys are gonna go. So I would pour one out for you, Kyle. Hey,
that's very sweet of you. John.
R.I.P. Kyle.
Jesus.
No, so I agree on surface. It doesn't look great that the Giants have this pick.
Yes,
but I will also say that it is very hard to predict what these teams are going to do.
Of course, absolutely.
The Titans could very easily take Styles. Right.
Sure. Yeah, I could totally see that. Yep.
I think that the Giants could very easily take Ione at 10 because
wow. Okay, I hadn't thought about that.
Well, everyone says the Ravens, but
right.
You forget that Harbaugh just came from the Ravens, and interior offensive line has always been their strength. So,
and they have a gaping hole at guard. Like the Giants have a seismic, permanent marker-shaped hole. I guess I haven't given it much thought because we only have known about this 10th overall pick for less than 12 hours. So maybe that's why I haven't. Because now that they have 10, it's Ione is suddenly a lot more on the table. But yeah, no, that's true. I haven't thought about that enough.
Yeah, I mean, and we also have to remember they're trying to get a Robin to a Batman there. Right, as far as wide receiver goes. Right. So in a deep draft, they might be able to think that they can wait to the second round, or they could maybe take multiple shots at guys. There are many ways to skin a cat. So, in fact, I'm starting to think in a deep receiver draft that might be the way to go. Is to trade back a little bit and maybe take 3 shots at receiver, and see what shakes out.
100%, Kyle.
Yeah. But that's all I want to say. I don't understand what the Bengals are doing. I don't get it.
Yeah, that seems
and
aggressive.
I don't think I ever will. But that's all I had to say this morning is, we have to roll with the punches. I don't want to. I like Boston. I think it is a little bit dear to take him at 16. But then you adapt, right? If you have a high rating on a guy like Cinnamon, then you take him, right? Or you trade out of the spot to a team that needs a quarterback or an offensive tackle. That's what you need to do, and get the tickets. And in that case, where you're trading back, I'm hoping you're getting capital for next year as well, because if you get an extra second rounder, maybe you can take that and go back up into the first round, or do whatever, or go get, or even go get a player.
Sure.
If next year's such a great draft. You can draft for an established young veteran who might be able to help you get to where you need to go. I appreciate your time, guys.
There he is, Kyle. Very respectful. Oh, wait. Oh, yep. Let's bring Kyle back on. All right, Kyle. So the same question that Snowball's going to ask. I'm going to be honest. Before anyone even questioned it, I assumed that Kyle Clifton was, of course, your name. Why wouldn't it be? So I've assumed that's always been your name, but there's been some questions whether or not it is. So Snowball, go ahead. Ask your. Yeah.
Well, obviously, my name is Snowball because my parents named me that. But other than that, I wanted to know if Kyle Clifton's name was really Kyle Clifton.
No, of course not.
Of course not.
No, he's just my favorite player. Coming up, the guy was a tackling machine, criminally underrated, and I just loved him. And like myself, he once had a great head of hair, but apparently that's going the way of the devil. So
I see. Okay. Wow. I didn't know that. Okay. So, okay. Yeah. I have hair, so I'm not going to do that. I don't want to, yeah. I've got beautiful, oh, well, I did just get a haircut. So I had more beautiful locks earlier. If we would have done that last week. But
it used to be blonde and feathered. You can't
blonde.
even
Oh,
imagine.
we're going to have to see that picture. I'm going to want to see that for sure. Okay. Beautiful. Okay.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.
There he is. Kyle. Snowball, you got your question answered. There you go.
Yeah. And I've always toyed with the idea of like using my real name, like just my first real name instead of Snowball. And that might be coming down the road. Maybe.
So let me ask you this, Snowball, because we're swimming in these waters. Like, I guess I didn't have a chance to ask Kyle, but I don't know what Kyle. So Kyle Clifton's not his real name, but so I don't know what it is. But I assume he wants to be called Kyle because that's what he puts out there. Right. So if I see him I've never met Kyle Clifton in person, but I assume he'd want me to call him Kyle as opposed to whatever his real name is probably. Do you cool with people just because I met you several times, I just call you Snowball. So I swim in those waters.
Right. Yeah, it's fine that people call me that. But again, I've always toyed with the idea of just use my real first name instead.
Why? Well, I guess, not to get super deep therapeutic here, but why haven't you?
Oh, funny story, actually. So anyway,
okay.
One leads into the other. It's just an ease of recognition and whatever, just, to use my first real name. But the other thing is yesterday, I told you I called into the show and I was going to go pick up my dog.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to go pick up my dog and there's a guy standing in front of me and he's at the counter. He's picking his dog up first.
Okay.
The lady behind the counter goes, "Oh, you're here to pick up your dog? No problem. What's your dog's name?" And he goes, "Snowball."
Did you say anything?
So no, I didn't say anything, but I was like, you know what? That's crazy, right? And then my son's name is Paul. So
what?
My son's name is Paul.
Wow.
So we're walking down the street in the town where I live, and there's a store that plays music outside. And I'm a big believer in coincidence and things like that. So we're walking past, and Billy Joel's on, and as soon as we walk by, it's like. And Paul was a real estate novelist, and I was like, okay, the Snowball thing, the Paul thing with
that is weird.
There's a lot of weird coincidences happening. So being that we talked about Jet Super Bowls,
okay, maybe that's a good vibe. I want to throw this up here because Johnny Snowball, if I could still call you that, Mr. Ball.
Yes.
We wish I could speak for Johnny Boy, I'm sure, and him even more so, because I'm sure how close you guys are, that we wish you were there at the draft. And we wish you could, but obviously you can't be. And Old Yank and anyone else that's asking, BG, how do I link up with you guys and the others at the draft? So this is what I'll say. Johnny Boy, feel free to add anything else in here. This is sort of the plan. I'm coming into town on Wednesday. I'm doing some shows, so I'm coming into town on Wednesday. I got some Survivor podcast stuff to do later that night, but I just want to be in town and be ready because I'm picking up Johnny Boy at the airport on Thursday morning. And we're going to be – this is a general sort of schedule here. McFadden's, Jake Asman's hosting this big-ass crazy draft party with Lou B. Me and Johnny Boy are going to get there around 11-ish, 12-ish, somewhere in that range. We're going to be there for a couple hours, and then we're heading over to the draft. From what I understand, the draft and McFadden's are very close, but I'm not a map guy, so I don't know exactly how close, but it's close-ish, and then we're heading over to the draft to get ready for all that stuff. So we should be there for a couple of hours. So if anyone in the universe, whether it's Old Yank or anyone out there, you want to run into me and Johnny Boy, hang out, talk, chat, anything of that nature, feel free to, you can hit me up on social media. I'm at BoyGreen25 everywhere. I'll try to be paying attention. If someone DMs me or texts me or whatever and says, "Hey Paul, I'm at this random place," I hope we can run into each other. If you see me, I'd love to chat with people. So feel free to just call me, shout me down, and we could chat or talk about whatever you want. So again, Thursday, the schedule is a lot looser on Friday about what everything's going to be going on. Me and Johnny Boy are going to be going to a couple of things that we're checking off his bucket list. Not that he's dying anytime soon, but, just checking them off as one does. So Friday's more loose, but Thursday we're going to be at McFadden's for a couple hours, and then we're heading over to the draft. So, Johnny Boy, I don't know what else do you want to add to this if people want to hang out with you and reach out to you or anything of that nature.
Yeah, McFadden's on Thursday. Everything starts, I believe, at 12. So, but we'll be a little bit earlier. Come check us out. I'll be in a poncho, so I feel like there's not going to be a lot of people that are going to be wearing ponchos, but that'll be what I'm wearing.
Great.
And yeah, everybody, even like I know that Mark lives out there, and I would love to be able to meet Mark.
Cicchetti, you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
you know,
cool.
so I know we're talking about going to see the actual plaque of Joe Namath the day after. So if you're in Pittsburgh and you are a diehard Jet, I think that's like a must for every Jet fan.
Sure, of course.
To kind of see where the only Super Bowl winning New York Jet quarterback comes from. So that's pretty much about it. And everybody, if you guys are wondering what my real name is, it's Miklo Velka. Okay, so just to let you guys know.
Thank you.
So, it's weird people calling me Miklo.
Yeah, so it became Johnny Boy. That makes sense. Another one here, and again, my schedule sort of changed, so I appreciate Indy asking this. So the original plan was I was going to record some version of Boy Green Daily. It wouldn't have been live, but it would play at 7:30. So you would think I'm live, I guess. Although I would have told you ahead of time it's not a live show. And I was going to do something on the draft, on the trip, hanging out with Johnny Boy, what it was all going to mean, whatever the latest I heard on the Jets draft plans. And there you go. And then while that was playing, live streaming, I was going to be driving at like 2 or 3, 4 in the morning, whatever it would have been, to be there so I could pick up Johnny Boy from the airport. What's now happening? I'm coming up on Wednesday, so I should hopefully be there around dinner time, 5, 6 o'clock, hopefully somewhere in that range. And then that means the next morning, so Thursday morning draft day, I should be able to do a live show from this Airbnb I'm going to be at. So we should be able to do a live show. It won't be able to be a crazy 3-hour show or anything because I have to go pick up Johnny Boy from the the airport. Thank you. For 500, Alex. So I'm going to go pick up him from the airport, and then we're going to do a bunch of stuff. So it'll be. When are you flying in again on Thursday, Johnny Boy?
I land at 9:15.
Ooh, okay. So yeah, so we'll probably be on for like an hour or a little bit less. Maybe it'll be 45 minutes. I just want to make sure I'm not late for Johnny Boy. So maybe it'll be an hour or something like that. Let's call it 8:30. So, and then I'm going to run and go pick up Johnny Boy from the hotel. Jesus, I keep saying that. The airport. Jesus. I will be staying at the hotel with Johnny Boy. So maybe that's where my mind's at. I'm just so revved up for that. I can't wait. So yeah, we'll probably be on for like an hour. It won't be a long show, but don't worry. Stay tuned to all our YouTube and everywhere else. And I'll be putting up shorts and videos, hopefully with Johnny Boy if we're out to eat or doing draft stuff or anything. So yes, there will be a live show on Thursday morning. Me and Johnny Boy should probably hop on with Jake at some point for some of the stuff he's doing, but that stuff is more loose.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, Dan, that you can't make it on Thursday. We understand that you're going to be at your daughter's wedding. So that's cool.
There he is. Respect, Dan. And thanks for the invite, pal. Really appreciate that. All right. Let's go back to the phone lines. Those are a buzzing. That is a pinned comment on youtube.com/boygreen25. Again, it is Boy Green. It is Snowball, if that is his real name. And Johnny Boy, all here. Make sure you guys show your support. Jets Worldwide, all one word. Make sure you guys subscribe. And also do so here on the Boy Green channel. Again, we're going to have a lot of live content cooking. Snowball did it for his plug earlier, and it was a great plug to make. How many Jets YouTubers and podcast land are going to be covering the draft live with live videos, live reactions, talking to fans, and being all around? I don't know who. So you guys are going to want to be all over that. All righty. Let's go to the phone lines. Ricky New York Live is next here on the program. Ricky.
Ricky.
Paul, I just got to say, hell yeah, man. Like when you guys first started talking about the scenarios, and I don't know if you meant to do it or not, but you said when, not if.
100%.
Speaking about the Super Bowl. And then you reiterated it later. But when you first said it, I was like, yeah, he's saying when. Like
I'm 100%. It is purposeful. It is on with intent. I mean it. I believe it in every fiber of my being. I know there's a lot of Jet fans that use if or never that are more pessimistic with all their battle scars from seeing it. And fair enough. I'm 32. I turned 33 in a week. So I get it. There's going to be a lot of people in the universe, and I don't have all the same battle. I'm 32. I don't have all the same battle scars as others. So maybe I will eventually get beaten down with a rake and I'm going to feel differently, but I hope not. I hope I have this same optimism, enthusiasm I have right now, I'm going to have at 45, 55. I hope I'm still doing this show. So yeah, that is intentional, and I did mean to do that, and I will forever mean to do that. I tell that to everybody.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys have kind of inspired me, because now I think I may go to the draft for the first time next year, because I'm thinking, what if we do get our franchise quarterback and it's Glenn and Muji that finally land the guy and we get our guy? You know what? I think I want to be there for it.
Ricky, you should do it, because I know for a fact that I'm going to go. Snowball and I are
nice.
Snowball and I are working on trying to get that as well. We're gonna let BG know, because BG doesn't have a say; he just has to go.
Oh, great. Okay, I was just about to say, this is the first I'm hearing of this, but that sounds great.
Because it's going to be in Washington, so it's and I live super close to it.
Great.
You know, you guys could fly in. It's not that. It's going to be. It's the way I'm feeling, Ricky, with this draft. I think this draft is the start of the New York Jets to start ascending and to be this organization that AG has constantly talked about, sustaining and winning and being this competent type, you know. So and I want to be part of it. To be part of this right now, to me, I'm like so excited. I'm hyped, you know, and to be with a whole bunch of other Jet fans, you know, like I said the other day on our show, we had Juicy Jet. That dude's been to 8 drafts. He's been literally to every single New York Jet game, away and home. And he's like, dude, when you get there and you see the organization of all the Jet fans, the diehards that are there, there's nothing to it. I mean, Lou B is going to be with us as well, you know. And you know, thank you to Lou B, man. Big shout out to Lou B, because Lou B is the glue to all of this right now.
No doubt.
And Ricky, dude, like you're one of the individuals that I want to meet. You know,
me too.
I want to be able to give you that, shake your hand, and be like, bro, I love you. Dude, I love your content.
Yeah,
I love your content, man. Your content's always been, even when before you had the show, every time you would call, you know, so you did your homework and put things up there. So appreciate you, man.
I just want to talk music with Ricky.
Ooh.
Right on. Yeah, anytime. Since we're talking about the draft, I wanted to kind of touch on this Giants thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing for us at all.
No.
It may end up being a bad thing for them, because I don't think they're going to get influenced into taking a receiver at 5. I think they may get forced into taking one at 5. However, other side of the coin, they did just sign all these receivers. If they do take a receiver early, watch Muji flip one of our 6 or 7s for Darius Slayton. And I know they just gave him a deal last year.
They did, yeah.
But if they just brought in all those guys and then they're drafting somebody too, you know what? And that's the thing. Good players do become available during and after the draft too. I mean, remember, there's going to be some good players that don't make teams, you know, cap reasons, whatever. That being said, listen, Kay Adams said this week that the Jets was the most intriguing team in the draft. Dude, it's not just the picks that we have, it's where they are. Muji can almost control this draft. You know what? Say we take Reese, but then at 16, say we take Ione or Thieneman. Everybody knows we need a wide receiver. If we don't take one at 16, that could spur a run on a bunch of those kind of, you know, early second, late first graded receivers. And honestly, I'm kind of okay with that. Obviously, I would like to have at least 2 out of the top 3. I've already said that, you know. And you know what? We don't know what's going to happen. Say the Giants they're worried about Lemon's attitude, and Kate's already off the board. Say they take Jordan Tyson, and then they get back to 10, and there's Caleb Downs. And then you got two guys with injury worries playing on MetLife turf. It could come back to bite them. Like just because they have those picks don't mean they're going to be slam dunks. So, and also, I'm glad you played that Icky Shuffle clip, because that's what Jeremy Bernard's going to look like on draft night when Curtis Martin reads out that selection in the second round. He's going to be like, 44, that's me.
Hell yeah.
But
Number 44. Woo! 44, that's me.
Get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts.
Woo! Give me some.
I have never wanted the Jets to keep the 44th overall pick more, so that can be utilized at some point. I hadn't even thought about that. That is hilarious. So hopefully I can remember to hold that video for that. That would be fun.
yeah, absolutely, man. There you go. And listen, I'm going to, you know me, I'm always optimistic. I'm always positive, you know, and I think there's reason to be right now. I think we're in a really good position. Like I said, Muji can almost control this draft, depending, and he's a smart dude. Like, I'm really, really looking forward to this. And so I'll end it off with a WrestleMania style quote for you.
Okay.
You know, but it's not going to be a good draft. It's not going to be a great draft. It's going to be better than that, because when the draft gets here, we're going to win, and then we're going to keep on winning. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be great. It's going to be just like me, perfect.
Oh, mic drop.
Hey, that's, you know what? That's a very deserving. And he literally hung up. Beautiful. The literal drop the mic. I did not touch it. He dropped himself out. That's beautiful. Great work. All right, let's get one more caller in. It's C, baby. C, you're on mute. You're on mute, C.
You're muted.
Yep, you got to hit your button on that side. Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we got you.
Is it safe? Is it okay for me to be on?
I believe
Right
so.
now?
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Snowball's checking. Yep.
That's right.
I just wanted to say to all the Jet fans out there, all the Coffee Club members, that I love you all. I love all of you. I don't dislike any of you. I know some of you want to punch me in the face, but I love you anyway.
It's a beautiful message. Thank you, C. And I want to tell you
one more
just privately.
Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Well, one more thing. I'm in a little bit of a dilemma here, because I'm having a surprise party for my wife, because her birthday's Tuesday, but today's Sunday.
Let's just put it out on YouTube.
She's a young lady. She's only going to be 70. And
nice.
Anyway, so what I did was I went and I ordered a cake. Okay. I got to go pick up a cake. I got to go pick up some platters of food at another store. Mm-hmm. But I tried to get her out of the house, but I can't. So I think I'm going to have to pull in the driveway and get out with all this food and say happy birthday. That's all I can do. Anyway, I think it'll work out. Anyway, one other thing I wanted to say about if the Jets were in the Super Bowl, I was thinking about it. My finest Jets memories were from when I lived in Florida. I lived in Florida for 20 years, and I had a bunch of guys. We had a Jet bar. I mean, it was great. You know, it was like one of the best times of my life. And I think it was 98 when the Jets were one of their championship seasons. They were going to the championship game. Mm-hmm. And we were ready, man. We were already looking for Super Bowl tickets we were just like, we were going, and we were all going. We didn't care where it was. If we had to sell our cars, we were going. And that's when I got my Jet tattoo. And then, I got that heartbreak of the loss in the championship game.
Yeah.
So I think that if the Jets were ever in a Super Bowl again, I would try to round up all those guys again, who I'm still in touch with. I try to round them all up again. And, we're all much older now, but I think I try to get them all to go.
I love that. That's beautiful. Well, see, happy birthday to your wife, and I hope it's a big surprise. You guys have a lot of fun.
Hey, C. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Does your wife like getting her nail? Does your wife like getting her nails done?
My wife, this is my second wife. My first wife passed away, but this wife is so different than my first wife. She's not like a makeup person. Once in a while, she gets her toenails done.
Perfect.
But I'll tell you what I did. I'll tell you what I did, Johnny boy. We were supposed to be on a vacation in Iceland for her birthday, but because of my back situation, we had to cancel the trip. So her daughter, she said, hey, how about we all because my wife likes to garden. How about we all bring some like flower seeds and flowers, and we get a really nice planter and we all put them in the planter. So what I did was, I've been working on it all week. I built a really nice planter, about 3 foot by 2 foot. And it's hidden in my garage. And it's all ready to go. I'm going to bring that out, fill it up with dirt, and then everybody can put their plants in it. And the front of it, I wrote in a wood burning, Sarah's Garden. And that's going to be her gift for me.
Awesome.
It's really nice.
Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah. Well, go ahead, Johnny boy. It sounds like you wanted to lead off to something.
Yeah, Johnny boy, go ahead.
Yeah, see, so what I'm trying to say is, so she likes to get her nails, her feet done or whatever.
Right.
Go to your local spot that she goes to, right? Set it up and say, hey, as a real quick thing, I did this for you. I know your birthday is on Tuesday, but there's so much things going on, and today I wanted to surprise you.
Preset it up. Nice.
It's already done. Go over there really quickly, right? And go get your thing. You have less than an hour or two to
right. Well, you know what I did get her, Johnny boy, for Christmas. This woman has everything. We're older. We've both had lives before, and we kind of she's got everything she needs. I have everything I need. So for Christmas, I got her unlimited car washes at Ultimate Shine Car Wash.
Oh, nice.
And she loves it. She gets a car wash every other day. She gets a car wash. So what I am going to do is that, that's like, it's pretty expensive a month, So I'm going to tell her that I said that was for Christmas, but for her birthday, I'll continue it until next Christmas.
Oh,
so you can wash your car as much as you want, that's what I can think of right now.
Well, see, hopefully you get your car washed.
Oh yeah, hey, listen, I got a package myself. I said I'd never do it, but I got a pretty nice car, and it's got to stay clean.
Hell yeah!
Hey, thank you, C. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much.
I tried.
See, that was tame. That was nice. That was a great call.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal call. I love that. So thank you. Thank you. In all, everything. Happy birthday to C's wife. It was great to have her. No, the thing I was going to say is like, I hope, and I'll repeat sort of the message I said yesterday. I hope we can all bust each other's chops and have a good time. Like, I'm all for ribbing. It doesn't have to be a library and no one's saying nothing to anybody. They just say your take, they get off the show. Like, let's all have good fun. But like, there's a imaginary line that we all sort of know where it is. Just don't go too far that way. I'm all for it. There's been some dark jokes, some all kinds of stuff. That's all within reason, all fun and games. But like, come on, let's just all be good. So unfortunately, we had some heat on the show this week. Let's just all we're all together. It's all beautiful. So I can hear my children have awoken. So people, there's 600 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Let's give another plug for the Jets worldwide crew here. Why don't you guys start it off here? Give a plug for
Johnny, take it away, Johnny.
Everybody, if you guys do not know, I am Johnny Boy. That is Snowball. And we are Jets Worldwide, wide. Come check us out every Friday, 7:30 p.m. This upcoming, hold on. This is the stuff we do on our show. This upcoming week, look, man, we there's going to be somebody that's going to be live at the draft. So we're going to have some real cool stuff. There might be a Thursday night show. There's going to be a pop-up. Jets Worldwide, come over here. Come check us out. But while you're here watching this right now, hit the like, hit the sub for our guy, Boy Green. Daily. Again, Snowball, would you like to finish it up?
I'm just going to say that, I'm going to ask people politely to come over to @Jets Worldwide and first, subscribe to the channel. Second, if you haven't watched the show, 7:30 Friday nights, come on over, watch us. If you like what you see, consider becoming a channel member, because now we have channel membership. So, and if you have not become a channel member of the Boy Green Daily Show, I strongly suggest that you do so now. And if you haven't even done that, just hit the subscribe. This guy, we got to get him to 10,000 subscribers. So, climbing our way to 10,000 for BG.
Appreciate that, boys. Thank you guys so much for the kind words. And again, JWW. Again, we have 600 people in the room, including over 100 of those 600 watching right now on YouTube. That's youtube.com/@boygreen25. And again, we surpassed 8,550 subscribers on the show. So really, to me, what I try to do is climb, these milestones. So that means we're 10 away from 8,560, How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Boop, 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 boop. Keep chipping away at it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Me and Johnny Boy will be together later this week. We'll try to do a bunch of collab content for both Jets Worldwide and the Boy Green channel, which should be a lot of fun. I want to thank everybody for all the super chats on the show. EZ, Nenge Boko, MC Show Digital, MFC, NC Green, both gifting memberships. Bahar Khalil, we got the sauce. Apologies to your children for all the swearing. Philium and Jared B, our moderator. Thank you guys. When you guys gift to the show, that allows us to do so much more. So thank you to those in the audience. And again, we've got a ton of stuff cooking. I will have a live show on Thursday. Oh yeah, here's a plug for tomorrow. Chris Strevler, recently retired quarterback, will be joining me live here on the channel at 1:30. And you guys can ask him any questions you want. I'll have a bunch of stuff prepared. Hopefully we can have a good time with Chris, who just announced his retirement from the game of football about a month or two ago. So we'll get him on the show. That's going to be fun. And we have some other draft content coming up this week. So, boys, it's been real, and I can hear the family. And that engine's a revving.
Yeah. How are you not going to say, dude, that's a big pull, bro. Congrats
Thank
to you with Chris.
Yeah.
If anybody does not know, this guy is a really, really good motivational speaker.
Oh, for sure.
I
have no idea. Yeah.
So he's amazing. But last thing, BG, I know you got to go.
Yes,
Snowball. Can we talk really fast on how crappy Pat McAfee is as a heel? It is probably the worst heel that I could remember. Okay, I don't know, man. He's so bad, dude. It is.
Yeah, I just really
so
didn't understand the use of Pat McAfee. I guess just for the celebrity, to add that pizzazz, I guess, to WrestleMania. I don't think it needed it. I was hoping Keith Orton was going to beat Cody Rhodes, with all due respect, because I love Randy. Cody Rhodes wins. The QB1 remains. But yeah, the whole Pat McAfee trying to beat the crap out of Cody Rhodes, and Jelly Roll slams him down, and they stretch it out. And at first he gives a thumbs up to Vegas, and they all boo him. Then he flips it to a bird, and then goes out there, and then comes back later with a neck brace, and he's a referee. There was a lot of hoopla there. But the point is I enjoyed WrestleMania last night. I'm seeing a lot of people talking crap about different stuff. To be honest, a lot of the matches that not that yesterday was terrible, but a lot of the matches I was looking forward to are today. Dom and Demon, that's high on my list. Roman, CM Punk, high on my list. Obviously, Rhea Ripley, Jade Cargill, it's going to be sick. Mommy's always on top. So there's a lot of great stuff that I'm looking forward to Mania. I hate it. There's a lot of things in life that are one way, and then they do it a different way. And by nature, all of us go, ugh, we don't want change. But WrestleMania going to 2 nights is the greatest thing of all time. I love that now even more wrestlers get a spotlight and we get to enjoy more. I used to love the draft. Was at Radio City Music Hall, the Draft Day movie, which came out 12 years ago. It was special to me that it was at Radio City Music Hall. When I went to other places, I'm like, boo, that sucks. But now we're going to go to Pittsburgh and see the draft. And I've seen it evolve, and it's a circus of awesome stuff. So I'll have a better scope, I'm sure, after we leave the draft. So, there's a lot of changes, but Pat McAfee stinks, obviously.
Yeah,
Boo him.
And Downhausen uncursed the New York Jets. All right, and if you guys do not know what I'm talking about, check it out because Downhausen has uncursed the Jets.
Yeah,
Are
look
we
it up on
talking about
YouTube.
Playoffs? I think so. I think so.
Playoffs. Perhaps that is in the cards for the New York Jets. That'd be beautiful because we have not done a Boy Green Daily or Jet Zone podcast with the Jets in the playoffs. So let's speak it into existence.
Playoffs? Are you talking about the playoffs?
Sure are, Gramps. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I got to head to the diner with my family, and we'll see y'all guys soon. Take care, everybody. Peace.